Welcome, agents, to strain 101-DPO of the 0 Point Report, the #1 broadcast all about the news surrounding the Secret World IP. Today is Thursday, April 17th, 2025, and with me tonight we have Two-Ton Waffle.
Where? That sounds amazing.
Two blocks, a two-ton waffle? It does. They're getting so expensive, though.
I know.
And Jimmy the Rabbit.
Ooh.
Hey, and a puppy.
And a puppy.
And a puppy friend. It's a puppy. It's a puppy. Getting bigger. Or at least from the last time. Maybe I saw him on your stream. Little bigger. So yes, welcome. Welcome. We have plenty of news because it's been a while. It's been a hot minute. Yeah. Our previous show, because it's been a heck of a sickness-filled time period. End of winter, beginning of spring. The previous show that we had was, get this, February 20th. It happens. It does.
We made it before the cutoff of 2 months, thank you.
That's right. Yeah.
We would have had one earlier this month, but technical issues with internet.
Right, yeah. For me, it's usually sickness. I think one time we had like a giant storm passing through and I was like, no. But it was, for me, it's usually sickness. But as I always say, like I get sort of like tag teamed by my son and my wife because he's in first grade. I know it didn't sound right. Phrasing, he is in first grade. Anyway, he's in first grade. And my wife is an elementary school teacher. So, elementary schools are just germ factories. That's all they really do. And so, she brings home stuff to me and he brings home stuff to me. And it's just, I catch everything.
It's a sharing and carrying philosophy.
Right.
Hi, Bomber.
Sharing. So he was sick earlier in the week and I was like, of course. I was like, how much you want to bet? But thankfully, the cold I had was just mostly last night and yesterday. So I still have a cough. I still have a stuffy head. But otherwise, good to go.
Oh, Varmer, you should have heard it before we started.
What's that?
Or says you still sound pretty congested. I told him that.
my
you should have heard him before we learned it live.
Yeah, my register is a little lower than it would be normally.
Should have heard him before he found the mute button.
That's right. No, my cough sounds terrible. Yeah.
That was an old man coughing up a lung.
Yeah. Don't get lung damage, kids. It's not good for you.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not denying it. I was just saying how I started up streaming on Tuesday again. I did like a test stream, just trying to see like, if I could still do it, if I could still keep it up and, my voice would hold out. And also trying all the stuff and like, all the OBS stuff and all the this stuff and all of that stuff.
It's like riding a bike.
And yeah, no, it went okay. It went just fine. But yeah, I got like immediately sick like right afterwards. So yeah, now I have a nice mute button, so you don't have to hear the coughs.
Well, it's all part of the show. It gets a full immersion.
That's right. It's like you're standing next to a tuberculosis patient
without any of the ill effects.
That's right. Say, hold on one moment. Also, periodically just be blowing the heck out of my nose. So, that happens. It's all good. Anyway, a lot of news has transpired since the last time we talked. Let's get right into it. Vommer, how you doing? Vommer's joining us. Anyone else in chat with us right now? No? If you're watching, go ahead and join us. Always good to see people in chat and talking.
Out.
And what's that?
Lurker call out.
I don't call out lurker. Because you know why? I'm a lurker. I am a known terrible lurker.
Let's see. We got Commander Root.
Got Moobot. Stream Elements is in there. You can call them out. That's fine. But yeah. So, Secret World news, first and foremost, because it is the most important thing. The Envoys of Avalon came and went. They arrived March 17th. Well, the login reward started on March 17th anyway. Envoys arrived on the March 19th, and then it went through March 30th. Like clockwork. Well, clockwork except a couple days.
No, broken clock is right. Yeah. 2 times a day.
That's right. Here's the thing: is I don't have any mention of them being late in any previous years, though.
No, they were late. What are you talking about? They've been late for like many years.
Well, they've been late during the. I have things of them being late for the autumnal equinox. Multiple times, going back to 2021. Being late for the spring equinox.
I'm fairly certain none of the events that are supposedly auto-scheduled are actually ever auto-scheduled.
Right. They're like, we created this auto-scheduler, and it never works.
I don't think it's worked like one time.
I was like, but yet the spring equinox, I have as usually being like relatively okay. So I don't know if this is the first spring equinox that's been off the rails, at least for the difference, but who knows? It's usually the autumnal equinox, so okay. So then I just did mark that one down. All right.
We can blame it on the illness.
Blame it on my notes.
Blame it on the rain.
Could always blame it on the rain. But yeah, they take their time getting here, but they did eventually get here for the, which one is this spring? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th? Yeah, the 5th time that the envoys have come around during the spring, which is interesting because it has only been around for 5 years. So, right, the first time it happened, they would have hopefully just been on time. And then every other subsequent time, maybe they've been late.
Yeah.
Because the envoys started in 2020. So, yeah. So this was the 5th anniversary. Oh, 6th. The 6th anniversary of the spring envoys. They are huge.
Remember, kids,
that's what she said.
And your vegetables, and you get as tall as I am.
What is the line with Lilith? Like, she's as tall as the something. Or she's as big as the sun? I don't remember. I just did that not long ago. Well, what's funny is, like, Ocho's like, literally between Waffle's legs. Phrasing. Like, if you look down...
Oh, we got... I almost got it synced up fairly well. At least on my screen.
So, you know, we're encompassing all the sizes, right?
Small, medium, and large.
You know?
Just think of it as like a movie popcorn bucket size.
It's a Goldilocks situation. So I'm the one in the middle, just right.
He's just right.
This one is too small.
And damn, that's a big bitch.
Oh, Lord, he coming.
Lady Dimitrescu.
I was quoting Deuce Bigelow, Manzillo for those old enough to actually get that quote.
Old 90s and 2000s movies.
Remember the movie?
I don't remember, like, he takes out the really tall chick, like her head is off screen, like she's just a fucking giant. And whenever they go out somewhere, people are always just like yelling shit. Damn, that's a big bitch. Like, as they walk.
It reminds me. Have you guys seen the Dungeons and Dragons movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a pretty funny scene in that reminds me of that, where like she's like, I need to go visit, like, you know, my spouse, or like, you know, my previous lover. Yeah. And he goes back, and it's like this like halfling to this, like, you know, really tall barbarian woman. And then and it's like, okay, that was funny enough. And then like halfway through is sort of like this other lady comes out, and she's like, oh, how you doing? And she comes out, and she's also this like really tall, like barbarian woman. It's like, okay, that got me.
A wing show? What's your true colors?
Mine's.
I forgot what mine are.
I mean, I expect Waffle to have waffled and therefore have blue wings.
Let's see.
I got blue.
I've got.
Is blue where you
have black wings, dude?
Black wings.
Waffle.
Just is blue like the blue like
blue means you didn't pick entirely one side.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I didn't. I don't know how. Usually I thought I did, but
I'm just a void.
Maybe I just wanted blue.
Pick up the gift by accident because they don't realize what that is. So you worshipped the bird instead of attacking it, or you broke the prison instead of repairing it.
Which I thought I didn't do. Yeah, no, I don't know why I have blue. Maybe I wanted blue, so I picked up the...
It is possible to, like you could have broken the prison by accident. You just have any damaging ability in the vicinity, right? Like, so maybe you broke it by accident.
That could be, yeah.
Just a little whoopsie doopsie.
If I do.
No, I have gold on Jimmy. I see your little blue wings.
Yeah, I love how the ability is still the same size. And I'm just doing this like... So not only do we represent all three of the factions between us, we also represent all the different wing colors as well. Interesting.
Yeah, we're,
We're a diverse bunch.
or a multi-wing
cover all the bases
group.
But how you doing, Armored Scooter and Smoke Santa? Hope you're doing well. Just came back to the game after 2 years, and your guides helped me so much. Nice. Yes, TSWDB, the official sponsor, but they don't give us any money.
Not sponsored.
And I forgot
not sponsored. Yeah, really not sponsored.
Yeah, it's
of the 0 Point Report, the unofficial official sponsor.
TSWD.
Doing well, just vibing on Knoxville. About to swap back to Mixie and bang out some more missing achievements. Nice. Always good. Even I still have some achievements I still need to get. But I'm
still missing the E17 Darkness War achievement because...
I'll say, but I'm the worst.
I'm the worst.
No, I agree. Waffle's the worst.
Oh, yeah. All right. You got me there. Anyway, there's been a lot of news. We have... ad block, go away.
Good news,
the Envoys came and went. Other Secret World news, and Jimmy pointed me out to this one. Chemish on the forums had quite possibly one of the largest giveaways and largest events and largest giveaways that Secret World has ever seen. The amount of stuff that Chemish gave away.
To one recipient.
To one person on April 20th, a will giveaway is absolutely massive. Their forum post says, "Welcome to the my biggest giveaway yet. I've been busy collecting loads of excellent stuff for one lucky winner. The aim is to provide somebody with all the things they're likely to want to be a great damage dealer while having the flexibility to change and try whichever weapons they want. The giveaway is open to new players as well as current players that may want to make a new alt or have one that is lacking in gear. Below are the details of what's up for grabs." Say talismans. A Radiant Ashes of Fate's Creation talisman. A Radiant Ring of the Hollow Tree. Radiant Egon Pendant, Radiant Iron Sulfur Bracelet, Radiant Anima Infused Keepsake, Radiant Generalist Belt, and Radiant Razor Fossil. All super good, if not even usually widely considered some of the best talismans. It says, as part of the giveaway, please indicate which weapon types you would like. These will be at least 3-pip weapons, so they can be used with the weapon imbuer to make them Mark IV, giving away 7 elaborate glyph imbuers, 7 resplendent talisman imbuers, 2 IV weapon imbuer? I guess that's 4-pip.
4.
That's what they mean by that. Signets, 8 Paragon Signets, 8 Quickness Signets, 8 Laceration Signets, 8 Time and Space, 8 Journeyman, 8 Nemain, and 8 Neophyte. In addition, green item will be provided for those starting at standard quality. A blue for each talisman will also be provided for each talisman slot to help get to purple quality quickly. This will enable you to slot signets. Weapons, if not already blue quality, will come with an additional green, so they can be improved, enable you to slot a glyph. So also included glyphs, 2 intricate devastating glyphs, 4 intricate fierce glyphs, 3 intricate accurate glyphs, 1 for talisman and 1 for each weapon. And then gadgets, a red concentrated anima jet, red Fey Ley Line Stone, red compact catastrophe shelter, red valley metabolic accelerator, and red electromagnetic destabilizer. What was that?
Well, Scooter said, "Do you guys go silent?" I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
That's the dots on your equipment. Yeah. Indicates the power.
They just have it marked as 2 IV weapon imbuers. So I was like, oh, I think it's just the 4-pip weapon imbuers.
There's 2 Mark IV weapon imbuers, yeah.
Yeah. Then catalysts. These provide bonus XP and should be used with 4 other XP distillates of the appropriate type. Just a whole bunch. Not going to go over those. Just a whole bunch. Shocking Steps, Sprint, Gatekeeper's Touch Sprint, a number of agents for the agent system, 12 agents for the agent system, 200,000 marks of favor, the evil laugh emote, 100 bags of St. Valentine's, or Valentinus, really. They will provide 1 purified talisman distillate and 1 purified weapon distillate per bag, which do not require anima shards to use to help level up the weapons. And then on top of that, 6 Kaiden C containers, 40 B containers, and 16 A containers. Containers. And then, in order to slot all the signets, I'll help run some mega bosses and regional raids so that you can rank up your signets. Yeah, have we had a bigger giveaway than this? Maybe for a physical item?
So. I know Meta did a really big one, a year ago or something? Where they did the mega boss marathon? But
yeah.
I don't think it was as big. Or also, I think it was spread amongst a lot more people. Just as far as like the amount like a single person can walk away with is kind of insane.
And it did. The winner was Mr. Fry. Mr. Fry has won all of that.
Mr. Fry is my father.
Call me
Fry.
Just call me Jim Fry. I don't know. Call me Small Fry. So yes. So there will be a live stream on April 20th, 2025. So 3 days from now. What is that? Saturday? No, Sunday. So it'll be on Easter Sunday.
When the mega bosses have risen.
And then fallen.
Oh, that was pretty good.
That was a good one, yeah. No, I appreciated that. Mr. Fry's going, shut up and take my money, except it's free. Oh, I'm having trouble with this name. Eliurosabai. After an 8-year hiatus, amazing way to be back in the game. Nice. I was the first runner-up, was super excited, and I'm grateful. The first runner-up. What did you get? Did you get anything for being the first runner-up?
I believe there's some, I don't know exactly how it works, but I was looking at it and like, well, they're an IMTSW winner. Nice. All right, Valmer, you're going to have a talking to if you keep shaking people indiscriminately like that. It's not allowed. It's not allowed.
Listen, as much as I love this community, I'm really terrible with names.
As much as he loves this community, he has no idea who any of you people are.
I have no idea who anyone is.
Who you?
So I don't memorize contest winners. I'm sorry. I don't.
Plus, I'm kind of like at a disadvantage right now because I can't get down to your level.
If you zoom all the way in.
I am all the way in. Remember, I'm tall.
He won't let you forget that he's tall. He's like, hey guys, I'm tall.
Dude. Nope. Don't move. Don't move.
The bouncing does not help the view of the shirt.
There we go.
Nice. That's cool.
What's that in the middle? Is that?
Oh, no, I see it. It's the...
Yeah, it's a microphone.
Yeah, but it's like I see the background of like the NPCs. The audio competition. Got it. Nice. Speaking of shirts. Look at my shirt. Bomber should recognize this. Got a new shirt. I got a new shirt made.
Hold on.
I don't know if you guys can see the whole thing.
Give me 1 second.
We've gone black. We've gone dark.
There you go.
Okay, now let's see. Look at how good that turned out. All right. It turned out way better, like even I could have hoped. It might have been affecting the color a little bit. That's possible. But yeah, it just came today. I'm super stoked. My Akira movie poster inspired Jimmy the Rabbit shirt. Mikey, you're talking and I can't hear you.
How about now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry.
Since this camera switched off me with the shirt, so FYI, it's probably been 30 seconds or a minute of...
That's interesting, because I don't remember touching it during that time period. Anyway. Hold on, gotta do it again. Okay.
You're back. There you are.
Yes. I was saying that the Twitch channel that they are using is going to be at twitch.tv/stream for me, right? That's what they listed?
Yeah, I think so. You're talking about Chemish's alt thing, yeah?
Yes. Stream for me to watch live. So there you go. So this whole episode was to show that T-shirt.
That's right.
I would have just had my own stream if I wanted to show my fucking T-shirt.
I said Jimmy does have his own channel. Yeah,
I would not have involved everyone else for that.
Next event is anniversary. What year will it be for Legends?
So 8 plus 5, right?
8. Yeah, it'll be the 8th. The 8th anniversary. 8th anniversary of Legends and...
13? Did I math right? It was 5 of these.
13.
Lucky number 13.
13th year for Secret World, 8th for Legends. And if anyone's keeping track, which apparently I am...
2 years
I forgot I had this up. Secret World Legends has been around longer. I mean, TSW is still up, obviously. From active. TSW's launch to SWL, it was 1,800 days. And since then, Secret World Legends has been around for 2,800 days, give or take.
Suck it, TSW!
Motherfuckers! Problem is, every time I laugh, I cough. Gosh darn it.
Dude, like, look, I ate, slept, and breathed TSW, okay? I put a goddamn enormous amount of time into TSW.
We all did, I think. Yeah.
Like an unhealthy amount, though.
As opposed to what you put into Secret World Legends, right?
I mean, honestly, yeah. I have more time in Legends because it's been around longer, but I have not no-lifed Legends as much as I no-life 2. Like that is just a factual statement. But that said, dude, come on, man. I did the head-to-head playthrough. I went back to TSW. Like the Legends is just a better version of the game. Like, period.
I would say you've convinced me over the years. Yeah, absolutely. It just has more content. It has
Its systems are better.
Yeah, just the back end is better.
You forget like how much of a pain in the ass shit was in TSW until you go back in there and like make a new character and like, how do I level my weapon again? What the fuck is this shit? Why am I locked to like, every zone you have to like rebuy your gear, start over?
And that like Minecraft-esque sort of crafting system.
Oh my god, dude.
We had to get like the kits and then everyone's inventory is just right, and everyone's inventory is just this massive thing, and everyone's inventory was actually bringing down everybody else.
The wheel. Let me buy 15 abilities to get to the one that I want. Cool. Thanks. But I'll never ever use.
Yeah. So
I get annoyed when people like fanboy over the wheel too much. So I'm just like, it was an interesting innovation at the time because no one had ever seen it. But when you play with it for long enough, you realize that like, oh, this is not actually good. Like this is not great. But it's not like the second coming, like fucking people like to do that.
Like I really think it's just nostalgia has just so much to play into it. Like people went into Secret World in 2012, and so this game that was like it was an MMO, but it was in like a modern setting. And it had, like, basically we're superheroes, to an effect. So, like, we're superheroes and, like, Lovecraftian horror and modern day. Like, you didn't see that. Like, there was nothing really at the time that really played into that, especially in the MMO space. And so it was so novel, and it was so, I'm not going to say necessarily groundbreaking, but it was certainly novel. And yeah, and people took to it, and they loved it, because of course we did. And also, simultaneously, it was hard. Like, you really had to put in some effort.
Yeah.
But kind of good or bad, because that effort really did drive away some people.
I mean, I don't really care about that so much, because, whatever. Fuck them. But
like I remember when they rebalanced Blue Mountain in the original Secret World, and people were like, oh my gosh, it's the, how dare they? How dare they make Blue Mountain not as much of a brick wall.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they did have a pretty massive player retention problem.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. And mostly they found it happened around Blue Mountain. So they had all the back end data for that. They knew what was going on.
Yeah. Well, part of that was because, and this was, I think, honestly a problem in TSW. Like, they had interesting mechanics on all those enemies, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, the only way to find out those mechanics and figure out how to deal with them was to just die to them over and over again. Because, like, you couldn't even see them. It's, you know what I mean? Like, half the time you had to be in combat with the thing and then mouse over the thing while it's killing you to, like, figure out.
Yeah, because it would have, like, the little pop-up that's like, oh, by the way, this is, immune to knockback. And then every time you compare
you're going to put a dot on yourself and kill yourself. So maybe don't cleanse. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Shit like that. Like, the problem with that stuff is like some of the time there was a way to see those ahead of time, right? Where you could like literally, be at range, kind of mouse over the enemy and like see it, like assuming you thought to do that. But a lot of times shit wasn't even like active until they were in combat, like you triggered something.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was not fun dying to something over and over again when you have no idea why. And then you realize, oh, there's a thing, but I can't see it. So you have to go die and then try and like mouse over quick enough as you're dying to see the thing. I mean,
and then,
oh, that's what's happening. Like,
right, and then after that, you had to basically like change around a whole build or something.
Yeah, make a build to go deal with it. But that's secondary to the fact that like you didn't even know what you were dealing with. And in order to find it out, you had to die a bunch of times trying to read it. Like, not because like even if you knew to look for it, you had to like sacrifice yourself many times over to get that split second mouse over before you die and it goes away and be like, what does that buff say? Like, that is a...
Wait a I found that really happened in what, like Transylvania?
Yeah,
Like it didn't really happen much before that, but once you hit
I think it
Transylvania,
did initially. I think a cob had like some tactic or something. That's what made them particularly obnoxious. Is because they had a mechanic that no one was like paying attention to, like no one was
hmm
looking at.
I think one of my first experiences with TSW, my friend had drugged me over from SWOTOR in 2013, and I got to level 15 and went for PvP and got squished.
See, the
Sure.
thing is, like the early PvP, you could earn marks by just existing in the zone.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah.
literally got residual white marks initially. Well, I didn't even PvP that much. I just ground out a whole purple gear by like running around, like just
Like
generating
Fusang.
white marks all the time, right? Like I
Yeah.
generated a full purple like PvP set and then went back into PvE, smacking shit with it. Because that was easier than like trying to get the dungeons to do the get purple drops to the dungeons. It was easier to just like grind out the marks for the purple gear for the PvP, and it was
Mhm.
like mostly the same as far as like attack rating and stuff like that. So like, um, that's what I did back then, like in the early days. But yeah, like that like even now when I go back into TSW, I will forget how different that shit is. Like even as like an end game character, right? Jimmy in TSW is like maxed out. I can go into Kaiden on a boat, and if I don't equip the right thing, those things will kill me in like 5 seconds, which is crazy. But
Yeah,
if you don't have the right build for that mechanic, it will fucking insta kill you.
because even then, what is it? Like, you remember how we had to run go to the Council of Venice, and I'm blanking on what that's called. Like
Scenario?
the scenarios, and they
Oreos
were
you gotta
like,
get, you gotta get the blue Oreos.
right,
The
and they were like, you
waffle.
had to get a certain amount in order to get the thing, in order to even go into Kaiden. You know, you had to get like
Yeah.
and it's sort of like, but if you didn't do that,
Oh,
you
then Kaiden
actually,
would give up.
yeah, Kaiden would just mess you up as soon as you walked in. Yeah, yeah.
And then on top of that, you needed Aegis, and then that would also screw you up though because if you had the wrong Aegis one, right, or you didn't switch in time, then you also couldn't heal off your hits because your hits weren't hitting.
hmm
The Aegis shit was its own problem, right? But
Yeah,
yeah,
the
like
constant switching.
I think they eventually got it down to like you had to only do one scenario to get in Tokyo because people bitch so much.
But
I'm
then
pretty
people got
sure I
into
did like
Tokyo,
a
and
day of scenarios to get in Tokyo or something. It was like
yeah,
you need to do like it was something like if you got like platinum on your scenario, you only needed like I don't know 10 scenarios or something like that or 12. I don't remember exactly. Yeah, one Oreo down from 80. It was 80 originally. But like you got more of those things for like the better result. So like if you got like max survivors on like a hard difficulty, like you could get into Tokyo fairly quickly.
but it was a question of whether you survived then in Tokyo fairly quickly.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
but the thing is, you were better equipped, right? If you could do those scenarios that quickly, it means you had a decent scenario build. So then you
yeah.
probably were okay. But if you only did like got your one token and then got in there, like also you remember like you could get the rogue token, like you could pay a bunch of packs for the
Mm-hmm.
for the cheat for like the fake way to get in,
Mm-hmm.
which was a real thing, and I believe it's one of those things that they were tracking as well. So like theoretically in the future, like that could have had some impact, kind of like wing choices, like the fact that you got into
The fact
Tokyo,
that you
yeah, like was like a stat that was recorded or something. But also, if you did that, like you just get fucking obliterated in Tokyo anyway. Like, you wouldn't know what you were doing. But like,
true.
and just to be clear, I like difficult things. I like difficult mechanics. The
Me too.
problem with them is they weren't communicated well, like at all. Right? That was my problem with it. I remember when the penthouse, mini Aegis dungeon first came out, and we were like throwing ourselves against that, like you know, meat into a blender, and like we're just dying to see the buffs and debuffs. Like we're literally just not even trying to win the fight, just going in and dying, trying to like read the things. That's just I don't know. I feel like that's dumb. That's not a good way
Not
for
necessarily.
a fight to be
Uh,
designed.
Said Armored says still the best chain quest is Vanishing of Tyler Freeborn. I agree. I love Tyler Freeborn. when that came out, it was like, oh my gosh, so good. And right, the fact that they that Legends basically integrates all them into the story. So instead of like ending Egypt with, or at least ending Scorched Desert with the train mission, like that's a great cap for it, you know. And then going into City of the Sun God and then doing all that. Right, without all that, having to come back. So it's good, yeah. They integrated everything into that.
Except for Tyler Freeborn for some reason. Tyler Freeborn's actually not integrated into the Kingsman storyline.
I mean, it's not integrated directly, but you can play it at level.
Yeah,
anyway.
you can. It's geared for that level, right? Like that is way better than, you know, because that was also a weird thing in TSW. Is like I remember being in Blue Mountain and like, oh, there's this mission and it says nightmare difficulty. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I've cleared nightmare difficulties before, right? And you go in there and like you're like, holy shit, and it feels bad because you want to complete what's in the zone in front of you, and then because it was not intended to be done until after Transylvania, right? Like all those DLCs were post Transylvania.
Mm-hmm. Or we're supposed to be, yeah.
No, they were.
Say,
like Tyler Freeborn didn't come. Like you were supposed to have finished.
You were supposed to finish Transylvania, yeah, and then gone back.
And then you went back and revisited the zones with each issue, right? So 6 was like, hey, revisit Kingsmith with this chain. Or no, sorry, 5. And then 6 was revisit, you know, Egypt with this chain. And then, you know, 7 was the Bond one, you know, revisit Transylvania with this chain. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they weren't intended to be done until like after you'd already beaten Transylvania.
So I want to say that I did the train mission in Scorched Desert well before I hit Transylvania. And it was just the hardest dang thing.
Exactly.
We're just getting steamrolled time and time again on that one. But then I was like, no, I'm gonna do it because it seemed possible. So I'm going to do it.
I remember being at level in Blue Mountain and trying Tyler Freeborn, and I actually made it through the chain, I think all the way to the last part, like the last mission where you go into the fog.
Mm-hmm.
And then it took me for fucking ever to get past Andy and Sheriff Bannerman. Like, hours. I could not get past those fuckers because there was like so many levels above me, right?
Yeah.
I finally got past them, and then I think I try to remember. I might have got past Norma. I could not. I don't think you get past Hayden Montauk. Like I just couldn't. Like it was not possible. I come back.
Yeah. So no, I came back to Tyler Freeborn much later, but yeah.
See, nowadays though, if I were to go back to SW, I could totally do it because I would just swim around the level to the back. Be like, haha, screw you.
True. That is a way to do it. So, besides from the biggest giveaway ever, the ultimate giveaway. Jimmy, you've been going through multiple challenge runs yourself. You're now going through the 0 Point Pat challenge run, and you finished up Desolation Jones Pacifist run.
Yeah, the second Pacifist one. Finally, fucking Akhenaten, son of a bitch.
Now, how did the Pacifist run work? Like, what were you primarily using, and what made it different than your first Pacifist run?
I mean, the main thing that made it different is they've changed like half the abilities that it used. For example, Immutable doesn't work the same way at all anymore. You just can't use that, and that was a big ability for the first one. Let's see. The first one was a reason for many of the fixes, actually.
I would say, was the first one before the big rebalance?
Yes. The whole point of this one, it was Pacifist run post rebalance. They weren't the part of the reason I'd never tried to do it until now is because it wasn't supposed to be possible. Like I had talked to Marvell. My Pacifist run was the reason for a bunch of patches. Like a bunch of fixes in the rebalance.
Right. Okay.
Because, like, for example, the Bristling Rage Reflect passive from Hammer didn't actually require you to have a hammer equipped. So I was able to run Blood Chaos on the first Pacifist run and get the Bristling Rage Hammer passive doing reflect damage at the same time, right? And now there's this little line on the passive that says requires a hammer. So like,
they're like,
that's a fairly massive difference. Is I couldn't do Chaos and Blood and Hammer. I had to like pick one and like lose out on damage from one. But like the other thing is, like signature abilities are a thing now, right? That wasn't a thing before.
Right.
So the hammer signature ability used to be an AoE taunt that did not do damage. So I could use it. No such thing anymore.
Yep.
No such thing as an AoE taunt, which is problematic for like a lot of different reasons. You know, not being able to AoE taunt things is a problem. Without, since like, so I would have
usually
to.
Tank that's pretty standard in most games. Anyway.
Well, so like I could use the agitator gadget, and I could, because that doesn't do damage. I could aggro a thing, but like I couldn't AoE taunt. I couldn't taunt a whole bunch of things, right? Which is a problem for like defense wave missions, for example. Like Edgar's, you gotta like defend the barricades. So I'm not allowed to use the barrels because that would do damage.
Okay.
I need to somehow get all those waves of Drog to attack me and reflect damage, kill themselves, but I don't have an AoE taunt. That's a problem.
So you have to go to each individual one and be like, your mother sucks, and go to the next one and be like, your dad's
but that's like a 30-second cooldown. I did eventually, as Vommer points out, figure out heal threat is a thing. I literally set my heal allocation to like 80 and just started spamming heals on myself, and all of a sudden they turned around and ran at me. I was like, oh, cool. All right, that works.
True. Heal aggro.
So here's the big thing, right? The really big thing of why I didn't even try it before now is like Nervell and I had talked, and he had said, and he intended this to be the case, but there's some loopholes, is that in part of the rebalance patch was enemies do not reflect damage. They don't get reflect damage unless you attack them first. Okay. Just kills a pacifist run like dead in the water, right? Like I would have to damage you for you to take reflect damage. That just means you can't do that anymore.
Right.
However, there's a couple of minor things that affect that. One is he didn't think about heal threat, because apparently heal threat actually counts as you activating an ability, which isn't damage, but I guess are targeted by the ability, so it counts it as aggroing them, and so they'll take reflect. They'll take damage, but I think what's happening like code wise, it's like it's reading that you targeted them with an ability or something, and so like I don't know.
Even though you're basically healing yourself, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're being threatened by your heals, and somehow that triggers. But the big one, the first one I figured out, like on my testing on Jimmy, was Blood has a passive called Shroud of Retribution. So Blood has like the blood barriers, right? You can put like a shield on yourself. And the passive says your barriers are covered in retributive runes, right? So it makes your barriers stronger, and it makes them cause damage to attackers. That's the key word. Cause damage. It's not
right.
It's reflect damage technically, but also technically not. Right? Like, because it doesn't say it's reflecting, it says it's causing.
Causing damage.
The retributive runes, but it's literally technically it's like you attack the shield and the shield attacks back. So it's that as soon as one of those would go off, now it counts that enemy counts as me having attacked it essentially under the hood, and now Bristling Rage will start to work. The other thing is the Cosmic Pigment headpiece. Cosmic Pigment headpiece says you get hit X many times or evade X many times, and it does an AoE damage. The talisman does, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's just straight up. It does an AoE of damage around you. So you just stand there and get hit enough times for Cosmic Pigment to go off. It damages them. The enemies say, "Oh, you damaged me." Now they start taking reflect damage from Bristling Rage. Bristling Rage is the most reflect damage you can put out, but it's also the one that actually requires that you have attack. But there's multiple loopholes that weren't figured out.
I was saying LOL and me doing bash them in the face with whatever I could equip runs. Yeah.
So
Jimmy's very inventive about his runs.
At this point, I have to be.
You've been doing it for a while. Oh, by the way, hey, Neckbromancer, welcome.
Neckbromancer, how's it going, man?
Hope you're doing well.
So yeah, essentially, the pacifist run was not supposed to be possible anymore, right? Like, intentionally so. Told by the developer in the closed beta, right? And a lot of the stuff was neutered, for sure.
They're like, God forbid, if Jimmy is able to beat everything without actually attacking anything. You're gonna be fired.
You have the Beyond the Veil shirt? Oh, you're asking Necromancer. You can get the shirt if you want it.
You can. I have the ability to give it away.
I think a bunch of us do. But yeah, so yeah, it was one of those things where like it wasn't supposed to be possible. And then so what I had originally thought, Mikey, is I thought like, oh, maybe I'll do like I'll allow gadgets or something, right? So that I'll have an attack that's not an ability, and that will make the passives work. And I did a stream like before I started the run on Jimmy where I was just testing stuff, and all of a sudden realized, wait a minute, this shit's more doable than I thought. I was bamboozled. And it's not to say that they didn't try to stop certain things. They did. There's just loopholes in the game around a bunch of it.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the old stuff still works or works in some fashion. I would say the other big thing though is that straight up a lot of abilities changed, and so I could not use the same like tech from the first one.
Right. Yeah. Is it still possible to do runs with the initial white weapons you get during the tutorial?
No, I've been trying to get them out.
I actually manually spawns the items on you.
I do have a set. I have a white sword and a white elemental focus on ephemeral, because they spawned it on me during my charity stream when I made that character. I think I beat the Udas with Jimmy mode and just white weapons. Yeah, it's the whole reason for his name. But as far as getting them out of the tutorial, I have not been able to achieve that yet. I really wanted to. If I could have done that, you'd be seeing me doing that run right now. I tried. I tried all kinds of shit. All kinds of shenanigans. Crafting window shenanigans. TSW crafting window shenanigans. Did I ever use the hot plate? I don't remember now. I might need to go try that.
Hot plate? I don't think I know that.
You could put stuff in there. Dante's hot plate in London. If you're so like the only time you'll see this is people have said like, oh, I saw someone with a white weapon outside of the tutorial. No, you didn't. No, I don't think so. I've yet to see someone prove to me that that's happened. What happens is during the tutorial, you go to your home base, like zone. Now, the dragon you should never see because it's an alternate version because of the butterfly stuff. It's like a literal separate copy of Soul. But if you're a Lumi or Templar, during the tutorial, you'll go out and walk around in the hub, and people can see you. They'll see like a level 2 character with white weapons. Because you're still in the tutorial, but you're walking around in the hub. But you cannot get out of the rest, because that's like before you... It's after the first part, but before the subway. Right? That's just in between. And so as a Templar, I had thought about trying to shove the items into Dante's hot plate, if it would let me. It's just... Dante, hold these weapons for me. But I don't think I tried that. I also don't know if that would actually work. You taco, you make a spicy taco. He's in London.
Oh, right. Okay.
Whatever the dark area is.
Right, it's by Dante.
Not through the normal crafting window, Scooter, or through the TSW crafting window, which you can like spawn with a command. Neither one of them will let you take it out. I've tried a lot of shenanigans I'm not going to get into for various reasons on stream, but like I've tried a lot of shenanigans to get them out, and nothing has fucking happened. Nothing has worked. Now Dante's hot plate is a crafting window, but I do wonder if, since it's like in that area, like I don't know, I haven't tested. I don't know like if you leave and come back if they're still in there or not, but I think I didn't get around to trying that.
So that's a good question. Yeah, if you put something in there, will it stay in there?
It just opens up your crafting window. It doesn't look like your crafting window. Shenaned all the gains. True. Real.
Sorry, excuse me. Do you want to talk about the latest shenanigan that you found during the last...
Blowing the pants off the doppelgangers?
Well, I mean, that's fun.
Having
naked doppelgangers show up. No, shoulder tackle.
Oh, yeah. Shoulder, I mean, I think Vollmer was there for that one on stream. Shoulder tackle breaks Akhenaten. Like Eric, it can break his final explosion and just stop it, and he's just hanging out like forever, which is an interesting interaction I wouldn't have expected.
Right, because it just means it's sort of like he doesn't have anything programmed after that. He doesn't have anything.
You can't impair him. Like I tried. You can't use like Bashosian gadget or any of that. Like you know what I mean. You can't use normal impairs on him. They don't work. Right. Shoulder tackle apparently is a different beast, and he's not coded to handle that.
It just means what? Like shoulder tackle is just not considered an impair. It's considered something
it
else.
Moved him, I believe, is the difference, right? Like it knocks them backwards.
Yeah.
But see, the knockback is normally like Bashoshin does knockback, but that doesn't seem to work on him. There's something different about how it works. It's one of the knockaways. Yeah, but
he was so shocked that somebody just body checked him. His brain blue screened. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was interesting. I got some cool pictures with that because he was just standing there for a while with by the way, with like the beams still going to him, like the beams got like the convulsing tendrils, like just hanging out. He just never exploded.
He was just like, he's like, nope, I don't know what to do now. Yeah, he's like, I'm shocked. I'm in shock. Yeah.
Like I was saying before the stream, I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think anyone has used shoulder tackle enough or in enough odd scenarios to really discover all of its brokenness. It probably can break other things in the game. I just don't know what. Well, kind of like pacifist, right? Like the reflect. Like I figured out that the flappy that fly like in the penthouse, the flappy they like goes up and flies around dropping filth. That if you just stand in the filth, it reflects the damage at him while he's in the air flying around. Like no one does that shit. No one's figured out that was a thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I will say that was like one of the most fun parts about that challenge was literally just you play it the opposite of every DPS encounter. Every DPS encounter is don't stand in the things. Fastest playthrough is go stand in everything as much as possible.
Yeah, stand in everything because it will reflect everything.
Yeah, there's few occasions where like for whatever reason the AoE or thing is its own entity and isn't tied back to the enemy, so it won't reflect. But like 99% of everything just reflects back on the caster. So yeah, I did Dark Agartha on him. I needed the time extender, but I did beat it. I did Dark Agartha, and it was literally like all the fire, stand on all the fire. All the fire. This is fine has never been so perfect for like that. I was like, yes, fire.
If only we still had Gatekeeper fight around.
Gatekeeper in Dark Agartha does like the giant yellow AoEs you usually have to run out of. I was just like, oh, stand in this.
I just remember from TSW the Gatekeeper fight in that. Like if that felt like to me, like once I beat the Gatekeeper, I was like, that's it. I'm done. Like that was like the top. Like well, once you beat the Gatekeeper in TSW, because it was like stand in anything and you just got obliterated. Like anything, just stand in it and it just killed you instantly. Bomber says, "Filth Reflect is how people killed it during the original Whispering Tide. They whipped out their chainsaws and stood in the filth and murdered the air-bombing birds of the 0-point pathogen."
That's funny. And they fixed it.
And then it was fixed.
That specific iteration of it.
Yeah, they were like, "Don't do that. Stop doing that."
I tried to break the game with Show Tackle and only got a nostalgia t-shirt. Wait, I made that shirt too.
You made a couple shirts. Does it say Crummy? It does say Crummy. Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
I made it. I got it in game and I made it.
I would say Funcom is like, oh my gosh, you can't do that. I really don't think they mind at this point.
I think it's under GM shirts, right?
Is this a merch store stream? I mean, we don't have a merch store, but...
Here, Waffle, you can see my in-game version of the shirt. I think I did a pretty good job at recreating it.
I think you did too. It looks great.
It's pretty much spot on.
At first I was like, does it really say Crummy? And it's like, it does. Yep. It does say Crummy. Yeah.
The right font and everything. Hey, you got your petition shirt. I have that one too. What else do I have?
Oh, it's got the Council of Venice logo on it. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I have this one. This is another GM shirt. Hold on, I can turn around.
Yeah.
Virunga National Park, Mount Nyiragongo. Okay.
It's a nice little t-shirt.
Hey, Cricket. I love seeing the different shirts. I don't think that I have any fun shirts, but I never really went seeking them out. The one thing I think I really wanted from TSW was the Halo, and I don't think they ever brought that into Secret World Legends.
They regretted making that. That was the problem.
Yeah, they really didn't want that after a while.
I got this one. This is another GM shirt.
What is that one for? Wait. Oh, that's just one of the GM shirts.
Yeah.
Who is that one for? Is that Roybus? Yeah, because of the T on top.
And then I got, obviously, we got the Andy shirt.
Right. Yes. No, I have that one. I think I have both Andy's and Nicole's.
They got Nicole's shirt. And then I think the only other one I have is, I have the petition one that Bomber has. And I have this bees one.
Bees. Oh, I think I've got that one too.
This is all the ones I have, I believe. And obviously I have the Broke the Game shirt, right? I got this one. And then the only other shirt, it's not in GM shirt, but my healer shirt, right? This one. This is my quote from Occult Defense beta test.
Guys, I'm a healer. We're going to die.
That's when we were testing Occult Defense and I realized that we had a tank, like all DPS, and I was pistol with clean slate. And I was like, I have the only group heal. I was like, guys, I'm a healer. We're going to die.
Be like, if you make me the healer.
So we were testing Occult Defense. We were in voice with Nervel. And, like, apparently Nervel, like, had it open or whatever, because one of the artists, like, overheard that happen, and then apparently immediately started making the shirt.
He's like, love it. Love it. Great quote. Can't beat that. Is there a GM shirt category? For some reason, I can't find it.
Yeah, it's usually like GM.
Oh, there it is. It's just a different... Okay, you're right. It shows the different colors.
And then, actually, technically, what I was wearing before, this pentagram one, that's a community rewards version of the pentagram shirt. It's like the red version.
I was to say that Vomer's got is down on all the shirts. Whenever Vomer has an event, they're always like, "I've got this T-shirt that has never before been seen in this game." Nasso's coffee cup. Very nice, very nice. And what'd you say? I have the 6th anniversary shirt. You guys want to see the 6th anniversary shirt?
It'd be impressive if you had the 7th anniversary shirt.
We got that already.
You didn't. So
that's
why it would be impressive.
That's why it would be impressive, yeah. Like, part of me thinks that if I were to, have a shirt made, I would kind of stick to that. Like, that would sort of be the style that I would go for.
What do you mean?
Wait, where are they? Where did the anniversary shirts go?
Well, I see what you mean. The anniversary shirts. So I mean,
yeah, like,
it's a joke, Scooter. They didn't make a 7th anniversary shirt.
Yeah, they've only made up to 6.
They only made 6. 7th anniversary came and went, and they just didn't put a new shirt in the game. Because they made they made 6, and then they made 6 like at launch, put them in the game. They never added any more. So 7th came and went. This year will be 8th. I'd be surprised to see a shirt this year.
And more likely going to be the same. It's the secret shirt.
Secret shirt. Or they come up with their own 8th shirt. Yeah, you didn't miss anything.
This year they're gonna hear that and they're gonna be like, okay, we're gonna make a 7th and 8th shirt just
it'd be 7/8. So it'd be like a 7th.
Are there any?
Now
I want to know: are there any shirts that like look like an 8? Oh, I have the Alienware shirt. I forgot about that. As far as like odd shirts go,
I don't know.
Is there any clothing that like has like an 8 on it, like a number? Like Dragon has 35 on it. So, set for the 35th anniversary. You know what I mean? You just wear the Dragon basketball jersey for that one.
No, it's 5 + 3. It's 8.
Oh, shit, you're right. Goddamn, I didn't even think of that. I could wear that this year.
Just constantly switch between the 5th anniversary shirt and the 3rd anniversary shirt.
No, no, he's right. The Dragon basketball jersey says 3-5, so you just add them together. That's 8.
It's 8. You're right.
It's 8. Yep. That works.
See, they planned it.
It is something the Dragon would plan, to be fair.
Devs are secretly
I got the celebration shirt with the fireworks.
See, we're into In the Shadows to release 6 years of cosmetics at once. Listen, I mean, you never know. That's sort of the way that Funcom operates with its older games. Like, they've even thrown stuff into Age of Conan and what's the other one?
Anarchy Online.
Anarchy Online. Like, they've even
Yeah, Scooter. I'm gonna play the shit out of Dune. I got that. I got the Ultimate Edition like pre-ordered for my birthday.
You went with the Ultimate.
Yeah, I got a bunch of Steam gift cards for my birthday, so I just was like, "Fuck it, I'm doing it."
Yeah. I was gonna say since the last time we have a lot of Dune Awakening
news.
Let's go over that real quick. Dune Awakening Released February 26th, the character creator and benchmark mode on Steam. It saves the character to your drive so you can import later, and it gives a code for a free frame blade. But I think the code is just everywhere. I think I've seen that posted. It's just,
Yeah, it's just generic.
It's a generic code, yeah. They've had multiple live streams and videos. They just had a live stream all about the combat, builds, PvP, PvE, and server structure. Then earlier they had Joel Bylos on the business model, PC specs, features, and post-launch support. The launch date has been pushed back a few weeks as they've released a producer letter. But they did say that hundreds of journalists and content creators are going to be releasing coverage April 25th. So April 25th is going to be a day where I think just an influx. You will see a whole bunch of like influencer and whatever stuff. And that's when like all the gaming sites will have all the stuff on it. They say that they're listening to feedback from beta testers and they decided to let the game cook a little more. The new release date is now June 10th with a head start launching June 5th. The 5-day head start. It promises a large-scale beta weekend next month. So, I guess in May, they're going to basically have the stress test. April 25th is when embargo's lifted. I don't know if it's necessarily embargo's lifted for everybody, or if it's just for specific journalists and content creators.
Yeah, it's probably just the journos, I would think. But I don't know for sure.
Well,
they didn't specifically say.
Where it had a bunch of content creators and journalists playing the game, a couple of weeks ago or about a month ago?
Yeah, they obviously got all that approval. Yeah.
To
answer Scooter's question, I do plan to stream Dune Awakening as soon as I can. Like, when because I forget how the head start isn't like a huge head start. If you get the Ultimate Edition, you get, I don't know,
5 days.
Like but yeah, it was like a few days or whatever. But as soon as I can, I will for sure. I found another shirt that can work, by the way, guys, for 8. See this shirt? This red shirt here? If you look at the dice, the visible dice dots add up to 8.
That it does. Yep.
So,
we're going deep with it.
Just saying, we have an 8-year anniversary shirt. It was right under our noses all along.
Everything is true. They're playing Dune in a very specific region, so not to spoil the rest of the game. Oh, yeah. That's why I think, I don't think it's going to be a full NDA release. I think it's just going to be, they're going to be you can tell people about the game, but don't spoil it. Don't. We've got a whole story planned out. Don't spoil it.
No, I'm super looking forward to it. I will definitely be streaming that when it comes out.
But yes, push back to June 10th. But I would expect a stress test beta sometime in May. The latest issues.
They did say in did you see that part? That they said there was going to be an open beta.
Yes, I mean that's what I assume when they mean it promises a large scale beta weekend is what they said.
Yeah. That was I think that was also kind of like a throwing a bone. Hey, we're pushing the game back, but you'll get to play it, right? Which is cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
What about the Fremen? What Fremen?
What Fremen? What are you talking about? Who? What?
Oh, issue 8. Wait, which shirt is issue 8? Does it say issue 8 on it? I know issue 8
was Venetian Agenda.
Well, what was the shirt called? I don't remember what the name of the shirt is.
That's a good question.
I hadn't made it down that far apparently in the list. The Venetian Agenda? You're wearing it? Well, I'm looking at me. Because I'm in the dressing room.
It's just called the Venetian Agenda t-shirt.
Issue 8 shirt. I get it. But I don't know, I like the dice, I think, more so far. I'm still looking to see if there's any other things that explicitly have an 8 on them. But I kind of like the dice one so far.
Dice one's nice. Dice one is a good one to use for that. All right, they released their Communinet Signal 6 and 7. Since our last show, which is basically, they talk about the community and what the community's been making and people who are making stuff and then all their gaming conventions and artwork and stuff like that, which are fun to peruse through if you're into that sort of thing. They said an in-game radio showcased with radio play and old school soundtracks. No, that was just my title. It doesn't make any dang sense. Anyway, they released the first episode of 5 Days at Carthag, which is like a radio play, which I listened to, and it's very much like the broadcast.
Awesome.
Like when they do the broadcast in Secret World. Like it's very much a radio play sort of in that old school style. And then did they announce this on April Fool's Day? But I think it's actually happening. They say that you can also on one of the radio stations that they have, which you can play while you play Dune Awakening, that you can listen to the original Dune 1 and 2 RTS game music from the 90s.
Oh no, that is true. That is true.
Yeah, I would say that's true.
Which in and of itself is a good piece of information to get out there. The fact that like it has a streamer mode, so that you don't get yourself copyright struck while you're streaming it.
I feel like Funcom definitely took that to stride when they published what's the
Metal Hellsinger?
Yes, Metal Hellsinger. That they were like, oh, this game is all about music. Hey, if we want people to actually be able to stream this, we should make sure that music doesn't get them in trouble. Yeah.
Nightmare's ragged sweater has 8 stripes on the torso.
The Innsmouth Academy t-shirt has an 8 in the founding date.
We're gonna need to get like a collage of people wearing all the different like quasi 8 shirts.
Do we have a 1 first year shirt with a 1 on it? We get 8 people.
You could also get like a 5 and a 3 shirt lined up. We can get 4 2s.
I'll say in the year that Vimer's talking about, it's the last number, which is 1798.
Okay, we get a person with a 1, a person with a 2, a person with a 3, and then a person with a 4.
No, Armored, it will not be Funcom's first rodeo, but I feel like this would be one of Funcom's most anticipated games ever.
Ambitious.
Yeah, most ambitious and most anticipated for sure.
For sure.
They even said, keep going on with this, they even said that the game will not release in early access, which in and of itself is sort of bucking Funcom's trend of releasing games in early access like they did with Conan Exiles, and then eventually taking it out of early access when it's all cooked. I've always said that Funcom seems to be one of the companies that takes that early access that Steam offers seriously, and they take it seriously, and they do a good job. Those games don't stay forever in early access.
Not like a decade with like 7 Days to Die just came out. Star Citizen.
There are 8 button ties on the Chinese shirt.
AI is everywhere.
That's a good one.
Yeah, won't release in early access. Will not have a subscription. But I would say, like, if there's any company that did early access right, it has been fun.
That reminds me, Scooter said something about the potentially DLC's Other Planets in Dune. Yeah, they did say something about like I don't know if that was gonna be DLC or expansion that would be planets. They talked about the season pass so it's not a battle pass. Some people misunderstood that. Season pass in Steam is just like a bunch of DLCs basically. The season pass for Dune Awakening is like you're entitled to like the first 3 DLCs. So you're gonna have DLCs, right?
Yeah, like that's primarily what their model is going to be. Is going to be no subscription.
Yeah,
it's going to be box price,
like
box price, and then expansion prices and cosmetic. Yeah.
Well, no.
Yeah, like I was about to say, like sort of like Conan Exiles. Yeah, you could buy a whole bunch of different buildings.
Expansions will be actually potentially new places.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Otson has 8 arms in the Desert Dress Casual shirt.
Why not? But so they said pre-orders began March 24th and offering many goodies for pre-ordering. You can buy the standard edition, which comes with the Terrarium of Muad'Dib and the Sunset Dice Watch for $49.99. Also interesting, the standard base game is just $50.
Yes.
Like that's even below our current standard of 60, and what Nintendo is pushing for like 80 now as a standard. So it's even below the standard 60. Hey, Cricket. Yeah. Yes, Cricket. You can come get it. You can come get a t-shirt if you don't have it already. Then there's the deluxe edition, which the deluxe edition starts with a 5-day head start, and you get Sardaukar armor, and the season pass comes with the deluxe edition, and that's for $70, $69.99. And then the ultimate edition comes with the Kaladin Place building set, the Dune 2021 film still suit, the season pass, the digital art book, the digital soundtrack, a blue ornithopter skin, a Dusk Rider color swatch for the sand bike, and everything else, and that's $89.99. So that's $90.
Yeah, that's what I got myself. Well, I didn't get myself. That's what I got with my gift cards for my birthday.
Nice.
Went all in on that.
Bam.
So,
there you go, Cricket.
I will have to figure out how I'm getting Elden Ring Night Ring when that comes out. I think there's like 2 more games I need this summer. I can't remember what the other one is right now. There's Dune, there's Night Rain, I think there's something else, but I can't recall what it is.
Yeah, Dune I might actually drop money on. I usually don't pay. I usually wait for games to go on sale before I usually buy them.
Look,
I like
the little
playing
dude with the big ears.
Like I like playing, yeah, it's the Muad'Dib. Muad'Dib. I don't know. However you pronounce it.
Muad'Dib.
Muad'Dib. Muad'Dib.
Salud.
Salad? Did you say salad?
Salad. Their god. Salad allude. Allude salad.
Ew.
So yeah, it looks like it's basically gonna be the same way. But I played No Man's Sky. When No Man's Sky first came out, it was garbage. It needed way more cooking.
You're going to say that in front of the salad?
You don't need to cook a salud.
Salud salad. But yeah, No Man's Sky, now it's a good game. Now they've put so much effort into it, it's a good game, but all they've had to go off of has just been the box price. But the box price hasn't really shifted that much over the years. Even now, I want to verify this before I say it. But even now, if you go to Steam...
Just say it.
See if I'm right. I was going to say it's still $60. Yep, it's still $60. It has not reduced price over the years. It's still $60. It will still go on sale for, Christmas sales or this sale or that sale. But they haven't changed the box price over the years. And that is sort of rare for a game, but it's also rare that they basically have supported all the updates that they've made on just the box price.
Right.
And I sort of think that might be I mean, they are going to charge for expansions and whatnot, but they're maybe we don't need a subscription. We can just go off of box price and cosmetic prices and other stuff like that.
So I got a bunch more information from the Pirate Software stream that I happened to catch.
Okay.
And yeah, they talked about the DLC thing and the expansion, and it was even including the expansions would be essentially additional ways to get stuff. You can't you're not going to be buying power, but you can buy content.
Right, because
they give you a different way to get comparable power.
Because power in and of itself is the game's mostly going to be once you get to a certain point, it's going to be PvP. Right? It's going to be mostly PvP. And when you're oh, these people can buy power over here and those people can buy power over there, then that kind of makes...
Just having, one...
Right. Sort of like in the original Guild Wars style, which was basically Guild Wars released their first game. It's called Prophecies. And then they released an expansion, or they released a second game. But actually, you didn't even need the first game in order to buy the second game. They were actually a completely different story, but it gave you different abilities. It gave you different things to do. And if you bought them both and you played through both, it just gave you a bigger tool set. And then they released a third one to the same model. You didn't actually need the other 2 games to play it. You just needed just that one. And then it had its own story, it had its own abilities, and it had its own special things that you only found in just that version. And you didn't need anything else in order to play it. That's all you needed, was just that. This will not be exactly like that, but it will be instead of expanding upwards, you expand sideways.
That's what they're planning. Yeah. Even discussed, potential new classes, new skill sets, right? That even that would be might require a balancing. They might have to go back and tweak an old one, but like you wouldn't be like, oh, the new thing is like way more powerful. The new thing might be fun in a different way, but they should all be like
right. Yeah, that it's just it'll give you a widen your toolbox, which I actually really like that style. Like I said, Guild Wars does that. Elder Scrolls Online does that. Like a lot of the big games do that, where it's just the tool set, just the different ways that you can use it, just grow. But nothing actually gets really stronger.
Takeaway I got from that thing was when they were talking about the monetization specifically, because like they're under 10 cent now, right? They're under 10 cent. That like the money guys, like, right, they're behind them on this. They're not fighting them to do this payment model. They've got like full backing. Like it's not like they're being told, we really would rather you do this, but you're twisting our arm. And like, no, they've.
If it's anything like Conan Exiles, which does appear to be, it's going to have. Yeah, they've already proven that it works.
My guess is there's like a writing on the wall that like the microtransaction loot box shit is not here to stay. If for no other reason than the legality problems that are coming, right?
Yeah, because of how much it's associated with gambling and how much it's associated with
being legislated. So I think
loot boxes in several countries you can't have. I think it's like the Netherlands and probably 2 other countries that you can't have a game with loot box.
But also in a bunch of Asian countries too, there's a lot of laws associated with loot boxes.
That's what I'm saying. They're only increasing, right? And so I think it's sort of like, if they have a model that's going to work that makes you safe from like future problems, I think that might be part of the reason they're down and aren't like pushing really hard for a micro model. So I think micro model is why going out of favor.
I think but it has been replaced basically by like the season pass, battle pass, which does seem to be working for the most part.
I'm not sure.
It depends how it's done, I guess.
Yeah, even that. Although interestingly, Overwatch brought back the loot crates. Although I feel like it's disingenuous to call those loot crates. They're not really loot crates. Not like you think of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you just get them for playing the game. You don't. I mean, I guess maybe you can still buy them. I don't know, but like.
No, you can't buy them.
So, well, that's the difference. You just get them by playing the game. Yeah, you don't actually buy them. Yeah. And if you get them by playing the game, then is that really gambling? Like,
no, it's just thing you open randomly. Also, they changed the system. Like, you're guaranteed like all kinds of stuff. You don't get dupes anymore. Like, I don't know. It looks like a crate, so it gets like the ire still. I think like, oh, they brought back crates, but it's not. It's not the thing everyone's fighting. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, it doesn't look great because it looks just like the thing everyone's against. It's sort of a problem.
Yeah, it's like it looks basically exactly the same. So they're like, oh, it functions exactly the same, and you're like, nah, not quite, not exactly. But then each game functions differently anyway, and there's a whole bunch of them. Armored Scooter says, oh, by the way, Defiance is coming back tomorrow. If anyone here remembers the try-on game, Armored Scooter, I've actually been going through and rewatching the TV show. Because someone said they're like, oh, does it hold up? Does the TV show still hold up? When they did their what they called transmedia synergy is what they said. That's the phrase that they used for it. And at the time, it was sort of really cool. There was this MMO, and then what happened in the MMO like could get referenced in the show itself. And then how the show progressed is then how the MMO progressed. And there was this like thing back and forth between them. But I've been going through the show trying to see if it holds up. And I don't know if I'm the best at whether something holds up because I am usually perpetually behind the times. But I think it does. I think it still holds up really well. But I've always said out of like most sci-fi, Defiance's first season was okay. Defiance's second season is like one of the best sci-fi seasons from like any show. Defiance's second season is excellent. but I'll have to see if that's still true or not. I've only gotten through like most of the first season. But yeah, I like Defiance. I might be picking that back up. It's a nice shooter. It's a nice sci-fi-esque shooter.
I just got back into Once Human a little bit.
Yeah, that's another good sci-fi-esque shooter. Yeah. I saw that you're doing a fish run.
I finished. I did that
Oh,
all like
you already finished it?
I did I did a fish run before, but they had a new scenario, like a new world, the Way of Winter. And then they added like a new modifier called Lunar Oracle, where like at nighttime you get like driven insane and like things spawn to kill you, and so it's even harder. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna do Frozen Fish only Way of Winter with Lunar Oracle, like just like, and I did it. I finished the storyline in the scenario, finished the lunar.
So I have a question for you. I heard that they are planning in Once Human to kind of create a like
I don't remember. I think it's launching. I was like a month or something. It's launching really soon.
Yeah, so like the way that they've been doing up until now in Once Human has been like, oh, here's a scenario and you'll play through it, but then at the end of it,
and then you have to sign up for a new one.
Then you have to sign up for a new one, and you can transfer some stuff over, but not all the stuff, and you basically restart, and you go through it much more quickly.
Yeah, but also potentially a different scenario, right? Like you
right. Like stuff will slightly change. You'll get this, that. But I heard that was it for their mobile release that they were actually going to go ahead and have a more perpetual, like one that never ends, so that maybe someone like me, someone slow as heck and plays all these different games, would eventually get to the top of. I mean, but have like a more consistent server instead of.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting idea. I'm not sure how that's gonna work, like exactly. Like the way they've been designed, right, is like you finish and then like you can keep grinding silos and bosses and stuff, but like what else would you do?
Right. Yeah.
You know. So I'm curious how they're gonna do that. Like, are they gonna have you stay in it and then just like the missions recycle, or like I have no idea. I know it's a thing that they're doing, but I don't really know if they've said the nuts and bolts of it yet, or if they've even like revealed them or not. I'm not sure. The problem to crack is like, okay, so your whole thing was like every X weeks you can, your thing ends and you can sign up for that same one again, or a hard version of that one, or a different one, right? Like, but it gives you like a reason to redo, and you can also redo it in simplified mode. So like some stuff's like you don't have to like the simplified mode is really interesting. You don't have to like redo the missions. You just go to where the mission was, and like you see like an echo of yourself and sort of absorb it, and then boom, you finish the mission. Because you kind of already did it. Like, why make you do the same thing again?
Right, yeah, it's like, well, I already did that, yeah.
Go on. So I'm curious how perpetual would work, because I would like after like 6 weeks or so, the hell are you gonna do? Like again, you could be going slower, maybe that's part of it, but okay, after 6 months, what are you gonna do, right? Like,
eventually you're just gonna run out of stuff to do, and at which point maybe it's like maybe we should give people that ability, like after the 6 months or after they've done the whatever, then they'll be more enticed to do the seasonal stuff, because like that'll suddenly have more like different cosmetic rewards, or it'll have different play styles, or it'll have different.
You always also have Eternal Land. Like Eternal Land is like basically your infinite home-based bubble, right? Yeah, like it's your bubble world that you can build with like the eternal sand or whatever. Like you build shit out of like all like the sand crap. And so in there, that's your personal universe, essentially.
And that doesn't change, yeah.
And that so even if you don't sign up for a new scenario, you just hang out in your bubble or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see how they do that. I want to just see another scenario, right? Like another place. Like the story is really cool. Like the lore is cool. Sometimes the dialogue can be a little right? Like sometimes it can lean a little too far into like the spoken dialogue stuff. I don't think it's as strong in Secret World, but the written lore is really good. Like the written lore is genuinely good. I feel like the
dialogue is a little
cinematic,
stiff.
Stuff leans a little more like anime, kind of like over the top
Mhm.
stuff, which isn't necessarily bad if that's like you're into that thing. But the written lore is really strong in it, so I want to see like where that goes, like how much more they delve into like the world. Because I mean, there's a reason like every other person that plays it is like, this reminds me of Secret World. Like it's super lore heavy if you pay attention to it, and its setting
If
is
you go
really
deep into it.
How Bambone? Yeah, Living Flame is a beast indeed.
Living Flame is a beast. Never says, haven't seen a game keep up with Secret World Legends in terms of spoken dialogue, both quantity and quality.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's insane.
It's sort of actually part of their downfall a little bit, because if you're like, hey, we have this standard where every mission has this excellent voice acting, and every mission has these like personalized cutscenes and this and that. It's like, that's a lot of resources going into, basically missions, and like each cutscene has like animations that you don't see like anywhere else, because it's all specialized. And so if they're like, oh, we're gonna create this, it's like, it's gonna be a lot of effort to do all the excellent voice acting, those excellent cutscenes. They sort of have to keep that up in order to keep the quality high, and the game's just not bringing in the money to do that.
Yeah,
Basically.
but it's just a shame, man. You see like so much more expensive games with like, way newer tech and just flashy whatever, and then like they just have like talking heads, or that don't even talk. It's just text,
Yeah.
And it's just like, goddamn, man. Their mocap was like better than any, even just the mocap. The mocap alone, like the actual acting, like is better than like 99.9% of like anything out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like to this day, which is crazy. Like, even like bothered to do anything that good.
Yeah, because, well, basically, yeah, it costs a lot. It costs a lot to do it that well. Now I'm thinking of games like Elder Scrolls Online, because I play that, and it's like whenever they release new content, like, yeah, they bring in a lot of voice acting, because there's a lot of voice that goes on, and the voice acting is actually pretty good. I would say the voice acting and the characters that they create are excellent. It's one of the game's strengths, but they don't all have specific animations. They don't all have specific cutscenes. If there's any cutscenes, I don't even think there are any cutscenes. Like, they're just the regular missions, and when you talk to somebody, they're just doing like all the basic same animations that they do all throughout the game. Like, so all that they basically pay for, essentially, that's new, is the voice acting. It's right. They're not doing motion capture. They're not doing that. They're not doing any of that. Was just gonna say ESO. Right, but again, the stories are good in ESO. The combat is still whatever. It's a little too easy. It's a little too, ESO has its own issues. But it holds up really well, because, right, you go into those cutscenes and you're like, holy crap, these are great. These are excellent. And you just don't see it. But it's probably because you don't see it because it's a lot. It's a lot to do for, like, every mission has a cutscene, yeah.
Crazily enough, I think a remaster of Secret World would do amazing. Like if you just like took, because all that mocap, right? Like it's all like it's mocap data. Like if you just took all of that and like redid the game in like Unreal Engine, right? But you have all the mocap stuff. So you just port it to the new models. I say that like it's 2 seconds, but But to be fair, like you have
a little
rig,
armchair development, but yeah,
the data. I'm sure there is the conversion process, if it doesn't already exist, could be made, right? Like, I think genuinely, even though it still looks really good for its age, I do think part of it is like people, they shop with their eyes, right? And if it looks older, right?
And even though they did Legends, even though Legends came out in 2017, it's still based off of the 2012 game.
It's still Dream World. It got some minor updates, but it's basically the same engine,
same 2012, right? Yeah.
So I think genuinely, if they did a remaster, it would actually.
They need to bring it to consoles. Consoles would.
It would get bigger. It would get bigger purely because like you would see all those mocapped moments, all those cinematics, like in like stunning 4K, and people would be like, "Oh shit," you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it would have an oh shit factor that like it doesn't quite have the same way anymore. I think TSW did when it first came out a bit.
It did, yeah. That's why people loved it. They gravitated towards it because they're like, oh my gosh, like this is so good. It's, you know, and the cutscenes too weren't like too long. Like we're not talking about like Final Fantasy 14 or nothing.
Yeah, the thing,
you know?
like I think the other problem is like what God of War, right? The most recent one. What was it called? Was it Ragnarok?
Maybe.
Right?
I don't know.
God
I'm not
of
sure
War.
myself. But I get what
I
what you mean. Yeah.
I
The
think I
the one with
have it.
the
I
the
haven't
one with
played
the
it.
one with the boy. What are you
Yeah.
doing, boy?
I think it's God of War like Ragnarok, I want to say. Anyways, that one, I think, did that one win like Game of the Year or something? But like, it's so many cutscenes. It's like,
Yeah.
apparently it's an enormous amount of, you're not playing the game, you're watching a movie, which is also a problem, right? I mean, it's not a problem if you want to watch a movie, but if you want to play a game, you're trying to play the character, then you have to watch 30 minutes of stuff. Like, that's a bit much. Sekiro has a good balance of like, do a bunch of stuff, get a cool cutscene, but it's like, I don't know, a couple of minutes.
Yeah, it's not a long cutscene. It doesn't get in the way. It's like, and sure, you can even still skip it if you wanted, but it's only a couple minutes and it's really good. Why would you? But yeah.
For speedrunning.
Oh yeah, obviously. But I mean, like, if you're not speedrunning, like, you know, they're good. They're good and they don't take long.
I've been thinking about that. I want to do a true speedrun. I've genuinely been thinking about it. Like, the thing is, the only time I can do it is like the marathon streams, because like it literally takes that long to do the speedrun of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to do it in pieces. I think the cool part would be do it like, you know, all in one shot. But all in one shot is like 29 hours. So
yeah, we know about that.
Genuinely, the past couple of days I've been thinking about it. I was thinking about hitting up Fox because there's the speedrun leaderboard, right? Like the timer mod, you know. And I'm curious if that can be made to work with the actual story mission. You know
Interesting.
I mean?
Okay.
Because normally when you do a speedrun, like legit, like I'm saying, like submit to speedrun.com, like Sekiro Legends speedrun.
Right.
Normally you have like live split and like, you know. Yeah, this time for completing, you know,
to get to this point, you know, like finish Blue Mountain points, or yeah.
What is Dawning of Endless Night, right? Dawning of Endless Night, this Black Sun, Red Sun, this Mortal Sins. You know what I mean? Like completing the main story chunks. Like, you know, I don't remember if I talked to them about that or not before, but I kind of wanted to hit them up and see, because I know that mod
like an official sort of thing, yeah. Or
they've
like
already made the mod.
Yeah.
You can speedrun like missions, individual missions, and get a timer. You know, and it times all the tiers as well, right? But I wonder if you could do it for like the whole game.
I'm trying to think.
You know?
What was the last like content that we got for the game? Was it the Rosenbrawl investigation? Was that the Valentine's Week stuff? Was that the last like major content we got?
I mean, did the rebalance come after that?
The rebalance came.
Or no?
It did come after that.
It came after that, right?
Same year though. It came out 7 months later.
We also had the winter investigation. What year did that come out?
That's the question.
I kind of want to say rebalance was the last thing.
Was the winter event in the investigation. So I think the last new basically story we have is, because you're talking about they were talking about the Hive. Scooter's talking about the Hive, and the new investigation that comes with the Valentine's event
would have been yeah, you're right. That would have been the most story-wise most recent. Right?
Story-wise most recent, yeah, would be February 2020.
The last content we got was a rebalance, but it wasn't like
no, it was a rebalance, right?
Massive. It was a huge patch, but like it technically wasn't story content. Well, it was content. Rebalance gave us the penthouse dungeon.
Oh well, yeah, that's true. Content. Technically,
and the E17 raid, which is new mechanics content. So it's not just there was actual content. I mean, technically not new story.
Story is basically what I'm overall referring to. Even the
penthouse dungeon, I don't know that actually has new story. It's more you're revisiting the penthouse.
Yeah.
So maybe not technically new story, but definitely new content, new playable.
So, yeah, because the Hive is basically mentioned during that investigation.
Yeah, the Hive is mentioned in the Valentine's one for sure.
and was actually seen as not so much more of a prison for bees who defied the factions, but it was seen as like its own individual faction. It's like a faction of itself.
I think you're thinking of the Swarm.
I am right. The Hive would be their.
The Hive is the prison.
Yeah.
The Hive is the prison. The Swarm is the
faction.
The non-faction faction. But those are easily confused.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. That's
I've done them internally.
I'm not hating on myself for confusing that, yeah.
I can see Waffle is, though. He's got this burning look of passion in his eyes.
He's like, how did I forget that?
Fiery contempt that you would possibly do that.
How could you?
How dare you act as an authority on this game, Ocho?
Even a card-carrying member.
Of what?
Exactly.
I think I've got enough. I got right here. I've got my my Illuminati pin. You know, that's a kind of card carrying, kind of maybe.
I got my dragon dog tag.
Nice. I've got a lore pillow across the.
I'm jealous of the lore pillow.
You got the T-shirts, right?
Hey, Scratch.
Well, now you can make a 0-point report throw pillow.
You can order one.
Should we post that? I feel like it's a borderline weird thing to post that.
We don't have to post it, but
yeah, it feels borderline, approved, not approved content.
W lanyard.
The only content Waffle cares about is the new daily login rewards. True, he's obsessed with them.
What are those?
Got him.
When's it coming out?
Got him. Hey, Scratch. I got the Illuminati dog tag and the pre-launch Illuminati dog tag, and a mystery TSW lanyard. I still have the stuff from Kylani. I still have that, which I always cool. So right here, I've got my
coasters.
Yeah, I've got the coasters.
I have from Kylani. I have a little Uda head.
Nice, very nice.
Like Christmas ornament. It's got like a little thing on top for the ribbon or something.
Wait, hold on. Be right back.
These are 3D printed, by the way, from the actual Uda mask in game files. I believe she acquired them from Funcom sources or something. You have your 3D printed flappies. Nice, Bomber.
Okay. This really is a merch treat. We just like showing off. We just like showing off the.
No. It's not merch. Like you can't buy that rabbit head. It's
just stuff that Secret World stuff that we've accrued over time.
It's a collectible stream for sure.
Yeah.
Dude,
my merch is bigger than yours. It is sort of like that, yeah.
Speaking of, I have a unopened, still in the shrink wrap TSW DVD, like the game.
It's my lore pillow.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it.
I don't know what you're holding up because it's not there.
Tilty would not see
Tilty.
that.
Yeah.
I need to talk to him. Haven't talked to him in a while. See what he's up to.
Nice, Necromancer.
I got the covers for Chapter 4, 5, 6 blown up to movie poster size hanging in my room and some Kingsmith drug concept art hanging in my living room. Nice, dude. So I think that's basically it for my swag. No, I've got a couple of masks. I've got like face masks that are Secret World. The littlest waifu pillow I've ever seen.
You got a displate, Bomber. Which one? Which displate did you get? The gang?
The gang.
That sounds like an Always Sunny displate.
You'll take a pic? Nice. Put it in the Discord. We have a Discord, y'all. You should join it.
It's literally called the gang. Is it the one?
Where's the link to our Discord?
It's like holding a lit cigarette with all the other ones around. That's what I'm guessing that one is.
Invite people. Send an invite link to a friend. The invite link expires in 7 days. Well, everyone's here. I'll post it here. Want to join our Discord? There you go. And we're not ridiculously active in it.
I think.
Yeah, the key art. That's what I figured you meant, Bomber.
But if you join it, you'll be able to see when we're going live. Cool. Poke us from time to time. I don't know. Do what you want.
Do so gently. No hard pokes.
Hey, whatever you're into, man. I don't judge.
Gently but firmly.
Let's make sure you have your safe words.
They added it. It's kind of weird that it's under Conan and they don't just have one that says Funcom or something.
Well, they got looks like Anarchy Online. They got Metal Hellsinger, Secret World, Conan. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hide and Shriek.
Yeah, I feel like they should have just called it
Funcom.
I mean, the title says Funcom posters print on metal. Maybe did they change it? No. Maybe it is. Now it says Funcom. I thought it still said Conan, but now when I go to it, it says Display / license /
Well, you can
Funcom.
go through like the collections. They separate it out in different collections.
Okay. It
Something
did
like
used to be just Conan with a bunch of other stuff.
Secret World is now under various. Nice. Okay.
Along with like hide and shriek.
Yeah. You know.
The longest
various.
journey gets its own.
Yeah, that's horse shit.
Be like, sure, longest journey's cool. I get it. But does it need its own? What does longest journey have? 4? It has 4 plates? There's more plates in Secret World than that.
I think Secret World has 3, doesn't it?
No, it's got 4.
1, 2, 3. No, it has 4. I mean, if you count hide and shriek, maybe 5. Maybe.
What? Are you
Secret
counting
World.
the chipmunk?
Yeah.
Hey, that's where you're wrong. It's 3. It's 3, the park, and hide and shriek.
Yeah, but I'm
True.
combining it all into the Secret World overall universe.
Yeah, but that's where I'm saying that's why they put it in various, because Secret World technically only has 3.
Yeah.
Longest journey's got 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Even though those are also all different longest journey games.
But I mean, they did fix it, Vomer. Like it now, at least on one of the pages, it doesn't say all by Conan Exiles. On one of the pages, it correctly says Funcom. There are other parts where it still looks like it's under Conan Exiles.
Where's a tentacled kitty? I'll bring it out. I know what you mean, though.
Yeah.
Nurmagul.
Yeah, if you look at the top part, it says Conan Exiles in the tab itself.
Yeah, but like they've changed the thing to be Funcom, so I don't know.
Maybe they were waiting for us to criticize it first.
I feel like they're in
Was
the.
it?
If I feel like they set it up and they tried to migrate it, but maybe Displate doesn't let you like fully change it.
Yeah, probably.
Starting over or something. But what I'm saying, Vomer, is like if you look at the address, right, it doesn't say like license / Conan. The directory says Displate / license / Funcom. And then when you go to that artworks part, it's Funcom posters print on metal, not like Conan Exile print on metal. So like, depending on the angle of this shop you view it in, it does seem like it's Funcom umbrella, even though the title is Conan Exiles. Yeah, exactly. No, I get it. It feels like they tried to adjust or like pivot, but they haven't been able to fully convert. I'm guessing part of that might just be you're like locked in to like what you made the shop as in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Oh
probably,
yeah, we can add some more stuff to it that we actually own.
probably more of a displate. Yeah.
Now, that's my guess.
Yeah.
Oh, even the kitty's tiny.
What?
You're the tentacle cat.
It's a regular size.
Is it?
No, it's smaller.
Jimmy.
No, maybe.
It's I don't.
We'll do a size comparison.
Find it.
A Nurmagul size comparison. I don't think it generally changes the size of pets that I bring out.
Well, I have to find it. I have like 5 billion fucking pets. And like there it is, a stupid amount of cats. I think it's the same.
That's the same size, yeah.
It just seems smaller.
Only because you're so large.
Yeah, that's
I have like
I could
3.5
step on
pages
that cat.
of pet. I have 3.5 pages of pets. So I'm still missing some.
is my.
I have about
That's
2.5.
But like the surveillance drone costs 1,000 Ornum for some stupid reason.
Let's see. So we do have, there's some more news. Not much more. It's basically Conan Exiles and the tabletop. Conan Exiles had a new update March 25th for lots of quality of life improvements. They made adjustments to stamina, exhaustion, and the addition of a compass. Ooh. Lots of other quality of life changes. They made basically like almost like a Conan Exiles rebalance. Basically, they've threw a lot into basically updating Conan Exiles to last more perpetually, as most of their work effort from here on forward is going to mostly be Dune. There we go. We got 4 kitties out. Look at them kitties. Just being kitties. Also, there's currently a Conan Exiles Twitch drop campaign going on. From March 25th to April 9th, it's already done. You could have gotten the Blood Crystal Katana. From April 16th, currently going on, to April 30th, you can get the White Rabbit. We need a survival game called Secret World Exiles. I'd play it.
Secret World Exiles. Secret Exile World.
And then from May 7th to May 21st, it's going to be 5 Watcher furniture items. Whatever that is. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, Farmer's right. It's basically the Arctic hair pet. Basically ported to Conan Exiles. which is fine. The thing about the Arctic hare, or the thing about the white rabbit pet, is that it's not like only around during this time of year. Like, you can just go exploring through the lands and you'll find.
How dare you? How dare you slander rabbit twist drop?
Well, you can still get it. I'm not saying you can't. Because the thing about Conan Exiles is right. You can just basically go around the world and be like, oh, hey, there's a small animal. Yoink! And just pick it up and keep it.
Conan into Secret World, and then from Secret World into Exiles. It's the great circle of lore
and reusable asset. That's why, I don't get when people are like, oh my gosh, they reuse the assets. Like, who cares?
FromSoft is like the fucking master of that shit. But like, the thing is, that shouldn't be a problem. Like, it's also reusing asset. Here's my biggest problem. People use the term asset flip. That is incorrect. Reusing an asset is not the same as an asset flip game.
Right.
An asset flip game is literally like, you took a bunch of assets, flipped them into this fucking box, and said, hey, buy this. Like, it's shit. An asset flip game is bad. But just because you used a bunch of old assets to make an amazing good game does not make it an asset flip game. Like,
right.
There are a distinct difference between the two.
Especially when you created most of those assets yourself, Right,
because asset flip is usually like you bought a bunch of shit off like the Unreal 3D store and like cobbled it all together with some duct tape and fishing wire and said, look at my game!
Yeah.
Like, that's an asset.
Yeah, right, Bomber, yeah. Yeah, these are them reusing their own assets, right.
Which people still call, like, I've seen it the most recently with FromSoft. Because, you can look at, like, if you really look, you can look at Elden Ring and see
they're
like,
growing.
Oh, that's like the boss from Dark Souls 1.
Oh gosh.
Did your cat get bigger?
It did.
But
there's a problem with our cats, and that is that I think that when they go through the portal, they come back normal sized anyway.
Rescales. You can't write asset.
So. We'll find out. Nope. Yep. Okay. No, it did.
I can actually, Scooter. I write ass and then I write ets. Boom. Problem solved. Also, I might potentially
disappear.
Be watching an Exile stream on the other computer now just to get my rabbit drop.
Actually, you want to know the trick? This is gonna sound bad. You want to know the trick? So Twitch, in order to be counted as a viewer in Twitch, you have to either have the stream up and active, like have the tab up and active, and you can still mute it, but the tab has to be active, or have the tab not active, but the audio is still playing.
Right.
So the way around that I found
is you mute your speakers.
Well, you either mute your speakers, you can mute the site through Chrome, you can mute it mute like everything, or you can just drop the volume down to 1%, and then you don't really hear it anyway.
I need all the rabbits, Bomber. All the rabbits.
And I should get the.
I mean, that's the sole reason I rebooted New World, like, what, a year or two ago? Was I was like, there's a bunny head for Easter. Let me go hunt bunnies for like 2 days.
I was gonna say, I thought I saw they brought that back for this year.
Scooter. Well, this is where you get the Secret World drops, that don't exist.
Didn't we have drops like a year or two ago?
You try that, but the tab goes inactive after a while if there's no audio and it stops counting. That might be a setting in Chrome. There's a setting in Chrome.
Fuck,
that
God
says,
damn it, Bomber.
Let me find
I gotta play Warframe again. Warframe bunny ears. Now it's on my to-do list. God damn it.
I do believe that is yes, I think it's under settings, performance, memory. And it says memory saver. Chrome frees up memory from inactive tabs. This gives active tabs and other apps more computer resources and keeps Chrome fast. Your inactive tabs automatically become active again when you go back to them.
Rabbit head. God damn it.
So if you turn that off, if you turn off the memory saver, it won't do that.
I own Fallout 76 as well, so I just...
There's also a rabbit head to be had. What was I telling you? That there's a rabbit helmet in Division 2, but it's not really a rabbit. It's sort of just like a regular helmet, but like there's 2 flaps sticking up.
Yeah, that doesn't count. I also don't own Division 2. But I have Warframe and I own Fallout 76.
Your 600 tabs will implode when you turn that off. That's fair.
Dude, why do you have 600 tabs? Jesus Christ.
That's why I said I got it. I got it for you. You don't have to get it yourself. I got it for you. And I also have a screenshot of it. Let me find that.
The worst AD ever known. I might be a day or two late to get the eggs, to get the rabbit head and Fallout 76. You know what? That's fine. I don't have to install it then. I'm not mad.
Makes the choice
If I've
easy.
already missed it, that's fine. I do actually want to play 76 at some point. I got it like way early, and it was in that like kind of the campaign was kind of shit.
Yeah.
I know they.
But by now,
they
it should be
redid
pretty
a lot.
good.
Yeah, they redid a lot, so I haven't played it in forever.
Yeah, you can also play as a ghoul now too.
Well, I got the rabbit ears in Warframe, right? And then that was back when they would take them. I didn't know this at the time, but
There you go, Jimmy.
they took away your rabbit ears when the Easter event ended back when I got them, and I was pissed and uninstalled the game. And I haven't been back to Warframe since. But my understanding is now they're
Look at
permanent.
the Lord, Kitty.
So
So
I
large.
will go throw Warframe back on the PC and get me some permanent rabbit ears.
I want to try out
straight up-
Warframe. That's one of the ones on my list.
I was playing it. I was playing Warframe, and I got my ears, and then they took them away, and I said, fuck you, and uninstalled the game.
My problem is every time I watch someone play Warframe, it just doesn't look interesting.
It's so very
Honestly-
fast paced. It's just like
And
Go,
like
go,
they
go,
zoom
go,
in
go.
like
You're probably
way too
watching
close to the
people-
character.
You're watching people, like, stream, like, dungeon runs and shit, though. Like, if you were to play Warframe, you would probably enjoy it. A
Yeah,
lot of
and that's what I
story.
think. Because I've heard a lot of
lot
good
of
stuff and right there, like the
convoluted
story's good and whatnot. It's like,
And
you actually I might
also-
like it.
You also determine, like, your playstyle. Like, you can play, like, guns. You can play, like, dashy, sword dude.
Mhm.
Like, you don't have to, blink around like a goddamn crackhead. But, like, if you're
It just
watching a
has-
streamer doing it, that's probably what they're doing.
Like it just has that same problem that I think ESO has, and that is if you watch somebody streaming it, it does not look interesting. Like I was thinking ESO is not an interesting game to stream. Because like all the text is already voiced for you, and you're just going around just slapping things, and everything is not exactly, everything's sort of like on the same level, and nothing is really that overly special. So it always feels like it's so much more boring. And right, whenever I watch Warframe, it's sort of like they're just really fast, like flippy and going here and flippy and going there, and it's like it just doesn't look.
Some
interesting,
games are more
but-
fun to play than watch. Sometimes they are fun to watch if you've played them, because then it means something different to you.
Yeah,
Right? That is also a thing.
and that might be more what Warframe is.
2,300 hours in SWL. Yeah, I broke
23
17K.
hours.
I broke 17K a while back. So right now I'm only updating the number every time I break another 1,000. That's when it's worth.
I am almost up to, in my own tallying, what am I up to? Like 400 days played? I keep track of more. 300? 300. But like,
But in 17,000 hours, I had not seen doppelgangers get their clothes blown off until last week.
no, that's
So there's
a new one.
always something new to discover in Secret World.
The doppelgangers spawn naked. It's a good kitty. It's a good kitty.
Why? So that 17K is including TSW hours, right? Because Steam is the same thing, so that includes TSW. But then it also includes the manually added non-Steam accounts, right?
Mhm.
So I have like a spreadsheet for like what my actual hours are, because Steam is only tracking Steam.
Yeah.
But by the way, even Steam is K by itself. So if you go look on Steam, I show K played. I've got 2K more than that in like non-Steam account.
I got
You
24
can do
days.
/played, but you would have to do it on all your characters if you have multiple characters.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I have to do it on all my characters on all my accounts.
Like on this character, I have 24 days.
I'm up to 39 days.
On
What is that?
this character, Jesus Christ, dude. Well, on this character, I have okay, because I have the mod that shows your character name, playtime,
953.
IP, right? So I can see right now my playtime on Jimmy alone is 5,975 hours. on just this character.
Yep.
That's
Sounds
just
about
Jimmy. That's not like all the challenge runs, right? That's literally just Jimmy. And just Jimmy and SW. So if I go /played, what does it say? It says 248 days, 23 hours, 43 minutes.
See, that was my when I created my spreadsheet, that was like my like I had to think about how I need a spreadsheet to follow my playtime is a phrase I'm sure your wife loves. Sure. I highly suggest it though. Use spreadsheets. It's great. But yeah, like I had to think about like what I consider like valuable playing time. Like like we're here now. Jimmy, you're not necessarily included in this because I know you're basically like
I did my faction missions while we were doing this.
Exactly, yes. You actually make it productive. Me and Waffle don't necessarily make it productive.
I can't
Oh, we're
sit
productive.
still this long without doing something in the game.
Right. But like just hanging around Agartha, I don't consider a played. Like I don't consider you necessarily playing the game, you know. I'm not making any progress. I'm not, you know. So that's why I just considered instead of hours, I do nights. I basically do like, you know, if I play the game during a day, then I could, you know, and I actually made progress. I consider that an active played day.
Gotcha.
And so I'm up to almost 300 for Secret World. But of course, I've actually been in game actual days a lot longer than that. 300 nights to get here. But if you want, like this is the one I always follow. Armored Scooter, you said you had 2,300 hours. A full-time job, 40 hours a week, for a full year is about 2,000 hours. If you want to put that time into perspective.
I don't sleep a lot is all I'm going to say. So I started the spreadsheet of like I have two spreadsheets actually. I have the one for the hours and I have one for the accounts because I have to track them for the anniversary logins and I have to track them so I don't forget like their names because I have.
Yeah, it'd be hard to remember all that.
Hold on, I have 12 Funcom accounts. Plus the Steam account. So I have to keep track of all the different accounts and all the different characters on all those accounts. I think I have 28 characters now.
Nice.
Which means the anniversary logins are gonna suck ass this year.
I was like, don't you do something like you log into like a lot of them?
I only really do that like for the anniversary so I can get the epic keys to do giveaways with. Right? Like that's why I do. I don't even do that for me. Like I do that just so that I can like run a giveaway and like give away all the epic key contents. Right?
Right.
But I swear to God, it takes like an hour and a half to log in all the characters every day. If it's stupid.
With a different name and different password and different. Oh yeah.
I mean, it takes a few minutes for the game to load, right? Like it has to launch, does the patcher thing, right? Like verify RDB or whatever shit. You load it, you log in, you claim, exit. It's got to load into Agartha, right? You got at least one loading screen. But I think the raffle went pretty good last year, if I remember. I think Future Tech Cash was the
We always said that's why they brought back the Future Tech Cash. They're like, everyone wants a Future Tech Cash? When was the last time we had that? It's like...
Never.
Never, yeah.
I think it was one time, I'm pretty sure, prior to that.
They're like, Ocho's just a maniac for hoarding
them for so many years.
Gift boxes.
Haha, synced wave, let's go.
But yeah. It is. The big kitty.
Bigger than you, at least.
It is. You got a nice picture of me praying to it. What's the one called where you get down on your knees and pray?
Is it not worship?
Is it worship?
Yeah, it's worship. I'm
looking through the emotes, but it might not be there.
Steam play is counted while the client is running. If you go in-game challenge menu, you have the active playing time without loading screen. Oh, okay. Playing time is 30% less than client running time. I can believe that. I think Steam might count the client running. Your in-game played, obviously, in Secret World is your actual, like, in-game time. Because I used to have people give me shit about that. Be like, oh, well, your launcher being active or whatever. Like, I don't fucking launch the launcher unless I'm playing the game. The launcher accounts for, like, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds whenever I actually launch the game or something.
Right, it's negligible.
And I'm not... Like, this is the most I hang out in Agartha, and I have left, like, 3 times.
Yeah.
I'm not a hangout in Agartha person.
We are.
I'm not. Well, technically, I could be playing. I could play Tetris right now because I have the Tetris mod installed. That's what you should install that, Waffle, so you can play Tetris or Gridris while we're doing the stream. You've seen that, right?
Didn't you have it? No, yeah, you did. With your inventory.
Yeah, it's a mod that Vox did. Like, you make a new inventory window. If you have the mod installed, you make a new inventory window and you title it Gridris, and it turns into like a Tetris inventory game. Or if you title it, I think Aegis, it turns into like a Candy Crush kind of game.
Jimmy keeps falling in rabbit's hole.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, neither do I.
I don't know what that means.
But yeah, that's why it really depends. Like, that's why I sort of personally switched to a active time or active count instead of a hourly count, because it's not always accurate. It's I don't know, but I keep my own
Also, not in the
for my
graphic
own.
notes. Dude, I do miss that Kaiden teleport that was like the black hole that opened underneath you. The Lorenzian Fabricator portal. That was a cool effect.
And it's also a possible potential source of income. Just FYI. I've seen this now in like ESO, and I've seen it in, does Guild Wars 2 have one? I'm not sure. But an individualized animation for teleporting.
Gotcha.
Like, when you teleport, instead of always having the same animation, you can customize that and have another animation for it.
Holy crap, I'm teleporting!
There you go.
Nice! Oh, that was cool, man. That was really cool.
And he's back.
You know what's really great about that though? Like, I legitimately have that item in my bank. I have the Lorenzian Fabricator. It used to drop in the Kaiden layer when it first came out in Legends. I don't know if I can probably link it in /say, I think. I literally have the item.
Noise.
Lorenzian Fabricator V2. I only have the base inventory slots of 35, the base bank space, but I have kept that Fabricator the entire game. It doesn't do anything, but
it's like holding on to like one banknote or something.
I mean, except that it's way more rare. I don't know how many people got it in the lair back then, or if they did, how many people bothered to hang on to it. I genuinely don't know. It can't be a lot. I don't. It wasn't raining Fabricators. It was like a weird random bug.
Fabricators. Hallelujah.
That was really cool though. Thanks. I like seeing that teleport animation again.
And welcome to whoever is making our cats big and giving us special animations. Welcome. Hope you're doing well.
Bomber says, I never got one of the briefly in SW Lorenzians, so envious. Yeah, like I'm saying, like, Bomber, who collects everything, and whose inventory is, like, negative all the time. Like, doesn't have one. Like, they didn't drop often, and they fixed it. I think fairly quickly.
Fixing it so that no one could have it. I have a uniquely bugged t-shirt in my inventory even.
And don't have a Lorenzian. Actually, I used that I got a picture of my character in TSW, like, in Kaiden, I think on the island in the south, like, doing the teleport. And that was it might still be on Twitch, actually. I think it might be one of my little banners on Twitch or something. Because it's me, like, falling into the rabbit hole, because it literally drops you in. And I got a picture, like a screen cap of, like, halfway me, like, falling into it. I'm pretty sure it's on one of my panels still. But, like, the thing is, no one can really see your panels anymore. I mean, they can, but it's like a pain in the ass. So I think most people don't. You have to go to, like, manually click the about section or something.
Of your panels of, like, your, like, might do, like, inspect.
You know what?
No.
I changed it, I think, to make it fit the square. It's from the original picture, but you can't see the original portal anymore. That's a bummer.
Boo-zoo. Boo-zoo. What other news do we have? All right, we did Conan Exiles. Oh, the last was a tabletop. Tabletop Secret World for Savage Worlds is now on Fantasy Grounds, which is a powerful virtual tabletop. You can pick up that for $20 to be able to play virtually. And Starbreaker Star Marines by Star Anvil Studios Kickstarter is still ongoing. Just thought I'd mention them anyway, because they've been doing all the Secret World stuff, so why not say anything else they have? They're up to $6,000 so far during the Kickstarter, which it's fully funded because their funding goal for that was only $1,000. So
nice.
So they fully funded that. It is a setting supplement for Starbreaker RPG using Savage World. So if you're interested in anything else that Star Anvil is doing, we do appreciate what Star Anvil does. So why not give them a little extra? Even if it's not Secret World related. But they weren't looking for much, maybe because it's a supplement for this one. They were looking for 1,000. And they got 6,000. So awesome. In my own personal news, I have been trying to get more into my local tabletop RPG scene, which is surprisingly robust, considering. Like, I found that a local church near me hosts a convention every year, like a tabletop convention, and they basically have all these tables set up where you can just come and be a part of these like random games of all different types. You could play like, one was like Star Trek, and there's others for Star Wars, and then there's other for regular like D&D, and then there's other ones for like Call of Cthulhu. So they had like all these different like one-shots being done all across the room, and like multiple floors and lots of games going on simultaneously. And I was like, if my goal here is to basically immerse myself with enough like real tabletop play to be able to DM Secret World myself, is basically what my goal is. So I've been jumping into my local tabletop scene in order to make that. And yeah, surprisingly robust. Like I was like, I didn't even know this was here. This is like 2 blocks from my house. We all want more Secret World content to continue the story, and we'll never get that. Yeah, so it goes. My theory is that basically it could happen in the future, but if it does happen in the future, it won't be necessarily in Secret World itself. It won't be necessarily in this game. It'll be in other games. It'll be in like Secret World 2 or something. Secret World Next Generation. That's my guess anyway. The other Secret World. I miss tabletop. I haven't done it in about 30 years. I mean, it was fun, considering that I didn't know like anything about tabletop, Or I know very little about tabletop. I'm not going to say nothing. I know very little. But I ran like, Star Trek 1. I was in like a Call of Cthulhu one, and what was the third one? I forget. They got a couple of, it's like futuristic, it's like cyberpunk. I forget what it is. But each one had a different system too. So like the Star Trek one had this system where you had to roll low, like was a good thing. The cyberpunk one had a system where you had to roll like 12 6-siders at the same time, or like 20 6-siders at the same time, and it's like however many were like 5 or 6 were considered your successes. And I was like, this is insane. I was like, this style is insane. It's like, so I was like, all right, you need to do this. And you hear like, and just like an explosion of dice. And it's like, hold on, let me roll all the 6-siders. I did one adventure where the team fought a literal night terror. The only way they could actually interact with the monster to fight it was to fail will saves and get terrified. Interesting. But I was basically like, the more different GM styles I saw, and the more different whatever I saw, that just the more experience I get, and it's all gonna lead to me feeling like I have enough behind me to do a Secret World tabletop and DM it myself.
That's very nice.
But I kind of want to kind of test out Secret World with like these people who have like never heard of Secret World before. I kind of want to test it out with them and be like, so to have the surprising stuff like, oh, when you die, what happens when you die? Like have that be more of a surprise than to, I don't know how they'd see that. I think it'd be interesting. Right, and then get your new tabletop players to play Secret World. Yes. If they're like, is that what this is? And be like, well, the game's still around. You could play it, you could play through it solo. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to play it like an MMO. You could play it like a single player, if that is your choice. Play solo all the time. Well, he plays basically like a single player all the time, even the dungeons you go through. You should stream your tabletop RPG Secret World games. See, I'm not at that point yet. I wouldn't mind getting to that point eventually, but I'm not at that point yet. I think the problem with the development of Secret World is that they keep trying to do original missions, and at some point they just run out of ideas. I don't even know if that's the case.
No, I don't think so. I don't think they ran out of ideas. They had a whole book They have plenty
Secret
of
World does have
ideas.
some of the most imaginative ideas. I don't think they necessarily run out of ideas, because even the missions that they have, it's sort of like they combined different styles. So like one part will be go out and kill these things. The next part will be deliver this to whatever. The next part will be whatever. And they mash that all part of one mission. So you'll do like multiple MMO type stuff. You know, kill, collect, deliver. Like there's only so many of that you can do without needing to program a whole bunch of new stuff into it, basically. But so I don't think they necessarily ran out of ideas. It's just that the ideas become expensive after a while. Like, we want to do this, which would entail, you know, creating this whole new UI for blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, yeah, that's a lot. You do a trial run for the next 0 Point Report, just a scene between you guys. I think that will happen eventually. If say I know Vamar was asking like, oh, what we're going to do for like the anniversary. And it's like, the anniversary might be a cool time to try that out. To have like a Secret World tabletop sort of stream where we even like maybe do the like some of the already pre-planned adventures that they have, the modules that they already have. But again, I feel like I need a little more time, just a little more time. Give me more time, man. Give me more time.
The quote is, "Give me some time," and it's from Hackers.
If you two are also interested, big silence, crickets.
Listen, okay, I literally have 2 Secret World clients running right now.
I was gonna say, I feel like it might be just that time anyway.
I literally had the other client open. I saw some shit on the auction house. I was like, shit, 0 Point Pet needs that. So I loaded the other client, logged in, and bought it on that client. Someone had a like a Radiant Egon, not a Radiant Egon, sorry, a Seed of Aggression for like 400 marks or something. It's like, ooh, piece of candy.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's not an Egon pendant, but like it's for that character, you know what I mean? And then there was the there was like a Ring of the Hollow Tree for like K or something. I was like, ooh, another piece of candy. It's like I was shopping.
But yes, Vommer, if we do this, I would absolutely invite you in as well. Giant kitty. Kitty more giant. Who's a big kitty? Who's a big kitty? That's a big kitty. Well, everything's big compared to me. So yeah, if that's all, I think we're good. Do you guys have anything else?
No,
I don't think so.
No.
Not that I can
We
think
pretty
of
much went over
anyway.
everything, I think. I finally got a charisma agent equipment from the exchange for my main. Nice.
Yeah, you know, I'm still working on ideas for the next run, because 0 Point Pat's not going to take a whole lot longer, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I just finished Akhenaten, I'm in Transylvania, and you know Transylvania is like a goddamn slingshot, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Doesn't take
do
long to
like
get through Transylvania.
the story like levels you up to 50 really fast, and then Transylvania has like no required missions whatsoever. So you just blast off. Like the longest part is just looping back through it the second time.
Yeah.
And even that, the longest part's only the first defense wave part. The rest of that shit goes fast as fuck. And then before you know it, you know, you're in Tokyo.
You're in Tokyo, yeah. I always thought that, like, even in TSW, it was like the amount of like normal missions they had that weren't like the nightmare. It was like I tried to do like all the regular ones first before I hit the nightmare, and it was just like you just.
The thing about TSW was like they were waiting for Tokyo for like a couple of years, right? So like people did everything in Transylvania. But if you're a new player, like there's no big incentive to like do all that stuff. And it's kind of worse in Legends in that regard, because the other zones got much more like integration and polish in the lead up to the relaunch. And Transylvania being the last set of maps got the least, like they ran out of time basically. They got the least rework. So like the single biggest drawback is when you reach that part in Venice where you run into what's her face, and then that big red screen where she recognizes you and you recognize her.
Lydia, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to do any of her missions to progress to Tokyo. Or to Venice. So there's lots of Legends players get to that and have no fucking idea what that cinematic means. Like, at all.
Yeah, they're like, who is that? Yeah.
They literally needed to make the Lydia only has 2 missions. They needed to like integrate those into the playthrough for Carpathian things, right? Like as part of the story. It should have been like must do selected memories or something, right? Or the one where you fight her with the helicopter explosion at the end. One of her 2 missions needed to be mandatory for that fucking scene to make sense.
True.
That was a big miss, honestly.
Yeah, it's a bit of a what do they call that? Not a loophole. It's sort of a plot hole, I guess.
Yeah, it's a gap. It's a gap that would have been that hard to fix. Realistically, you just have to hook the mission into the chain.
That's what on my own.
Right,
Also,
Scooter? Once you hit Deceased Farmland, you could pretty much fucking not do anything except the story. I think you might do like 1 or 2 missions, but depending on your level when you got there, till you hit like the last level gate. But it's not much, and you probably already over level it, honestly. But yeah. So yeah, I expect I'll finish 0 Point Pat like next week.
Okay.
And then I gotta figure out what I'm doing next.
Always doing something.
I gotta stay busy.
Listen, it's awesome.
I gotta stay busy.
I really like the stuff that you do. I do.
I'm baiting on, like, I'm of 2 minds. I try and come up with something new, or there's also some other runs I could go back and finish. Like I've done any % runs, and I could go back and like 100%, right?
True.
Like No Verds. I think No Verds was
No
all the text in the game was removed. That
Right.
was an any %, but I could go back and finish, like, I could 100% No Verds, for example.
I usually take 6 months in between story choices. Listen, that's about my own sort of time frame, so I get it.
What was the last one didn't I do Pip-Boy, Pacifist, and now Pat? They're all P's for some reason.
They're all P's.
But Pip-Boy wasn't that long ago.
No. Was that
February or something?
February 18th is when you started Pip-Boy.
Yeah, I'm about to finish the 3rd challenge run in like 3 months.
The fact that I had the exact date for that. That was just in our show notes, though. That was easy.
Yeah, because they've been any %. They haven't been 100% runs. When I do challenge runs that are 100%, obviously they take longer, right? Because you got to do all the missions. So I've been debating about going back to one of the older ones and like actually finishing it out. That's what I did with the guitar playthrough, right? When I played through on guitar, I just did any %, and then at some point later, I went back and finished it all out on guitar. So there's precedent for me doing that, but I don't know. I also might find a weird new idea and decide to do that. Maybe I can
quite
get someone at Funcom to let me keep a set of white weapons.
Someone just sat on me.
If anyone's listening,
wish.
I would love to do an actual ephemeral run with just white weapons. That would be
To somehow get Jimmy the white weapons that are in the introduction.
Yeah, they have to spawn them on you like post the intro.
Yeah. And somehow make them.
I would do that. If I could get that on my character, that would be the next thing I would do for sure.
Are they bound?
If you equip them, yeah. But the problem is like when you leave the tutorial, it like wipes them from your inventory.
Yeah.
Or from your character altogether, no matter where you decide to stash them. So,
I'll say because if they weren't bound and like
they're equipped.
they could spawn
Like,
them on you whenever. Yeah.
And as soon as you equip them, they're bound.
That'd be a lot more work.
But I know they can be spawned because I have a set on ephemeral that I got spawned on me in Tokyo. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if that'll happen, but that would be cool if that happened.
If somebody is listening,
What is that?
could be just an idea. Just an idea. You know,
Yeah.
For the future.
I think I would have to do it with no gear though too. I think it would be like 1IP Man just harder.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because I mean,
I
if
think
you're just I'm just using the white weapons, and then everything else is normal, it wouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, then it wouldn't be the same. I think it would have to be like no gear at all, only white weapons. Oh my god, dude.
Oh no, did you hear that? Oh no.
Yep. That was a mismute.
Gah, sorry, I apologize.
So juicy.
Am I okay?
No.
Listen, the fact that it took up to now for you to ask means that I've mostly been successful on my muting. That one was not.
Not only is he not okay, but he's also sick.
Last night I had a temperature of like 103, and I had to get up early this morning for adulting. And so, yeah, I'm on fumes. It's okay.
It's the 0 point pathogen.
Yeah, no, if you heard everything I was doing, but I guess that time the mute didn't fully take. Sorry.
What made up for the time where you thought you unmuted and you didn't?
That's true. That's true.
Oh,
anyway,
I just now saw your picture with the ears.
Yeah.
Eh.
Yeah.
I
You
see
see
it.
what I mean? All right, agents.
Warning for adultering.
What? I got this warning for adultering. Yeah, don't tell my wife.
Expose.
Agents, this has been the 0 Point Report, strain 101-DPO. You can catch us recording live Thursday nights, usually first and third, or just the third. That's what we've basically been doing. Thursday nights, when we can, around 9 p.m. Eastern Time, here on the 0 Point Report Twitch channel, where you can also join us and chat with us while we do the show live, or download our show wherever podcasts are found so you can listen to us on the go. Jimmy, where we find you online?
JimmyTheRabbit.com.
And you do stream on Twitch often.
And stream on Twitch and YouTube. All the links are on the .com.
Yeah, but if you go to JimmyTheRabbit.com, you'll find it all there.
Again.
You are. Oh, there you go. And you're back. Two-Ton Waffle, where can we find you online?
You can find me anywhere and everywhere. You can't stop the
Specific.
signal. Yep. Twitch, YouTube, Blue Sky, Mastodon.
Ooh.
It's happening to me.
That was the other port, the buzzing bee teleport.
And I'm Ocho, and you can find me here on Twitch, on Blue Sky. All links at linktree/BigMikeyOcho. You can get in touch with us by engaging with the show on X at 0 Point Report or Blue Sky, checking out previous shows on our YouTube channel, and joining us on our Discord server, both named the 0 Point Report. So from all of us here at the 0 Point Report, we want to thank you for tuning in and wish you all the best from the secret world. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Big kitty.
Signal, but the stream is about to end.
My cat went normal. Went normal size.